Yeah, people. It's good. All right. Can't even see the thing up there. Can't see it, but it's day 69 of the 1,000 Day Challenge. A sacred number. A beautiful number. A number that we all, I'm sure, hold deep in our hearts. So, let's figure out where I am. I don't remember where it was. I think it was there. I'm going to read the last part again. Alrighty, back into it. Letters to the Gentiles. And they wrote letters by them after this manner. The apostles and elders and brethren send greetings unto the brethren which are of the Gentiles in Antioch and Syria and Cilicia. For as much as we have heard, that certain which went out from us have troubled you with words, subverting your souls, saying, Ye must be circumcised, and keep the law, to whom we gave no such commandment. It seemed good unto us, being assembled with one accord, to send chosen men unto you with our beloved Barnabas and Paul, men that have hazarded their lives for the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. We have sent therefore Judas and Silas, who shall also tell you the same things by mouth. For it seemed good to the Holy Ghost, and to us, to lay upon you no greater burden than these necessary things, that ye abstain from meats offered to idols, and from blood, and from things strangled, and from fornication, from which if ye keep yourselves, ye shall do well, fare ye well. So when they were dismissed, they came to Antioch, and when they had gathered the multitude together, they delivered the epistle, which, when they had read, they rejoiced for the consultation. I have read this and I mucked it up again. Consolation. And Judas and Silas, being prophets also themselves, exhorted the brethren with many words, and confirmed them. And after they had tarried there a space, they were let go in peace from the brethren unto the apostles. Notwithstanding it pleased Silas to abide there still. Paul also and Barnabas continued in Antioch, teaching and preaching the word of the Lord, with many others also. Paul and Barnabas separate. And some days after Paul said unto Barnabas, Let us go again and visit our brethren in every city where we have preached the word of the Lord, and see how they do. And Barnabas determined to take with them John, whose surname was Mark. But Paul thought not good to take him with them, who departed from them with Pamphylia, and went not with them to the work. And the contention was so sharp between them, that they departed asunder one from the other. And so Barnabas took Mark, and sailed unto Cyprus, and Paul chose Cyprus, and sailed, here we go. And Paul chose Silas, and departed, being recommended by the brethren unto the grace of God. And he went through Syria and Cilicia, confirming the churches. Chapter 16. Timothy is circumcised. Poor Timothy. Then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there, named Timotheus, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess, and believed, but his father was a Greek, which was well reported of by the brethren that were at Lystra and Iconium. Him would Paul have to go forth with him, and took and circumcised him, because of the Jews which were in those quarters, for they knew all that his father was a Greek. And as they went through the cities, they delivered them to the decree for to keep, that were ordained of the apostles and elders which were at Jerusalem. And so were the churches established in the faith, and increased in number daily. Now when they had gone throughout Persia and the region of Galatia, and were forbidden of the Holy Ghost to preach the word in Asia, after they were come to Mysia, they essayed to go into Bithynia, but the Spirit suffered them not. And they, passing by Mysia, came down to Troas. And a vision appeared to Paul in the night. There stood a man of Macedonia, and prayed him, saying, Come over into Macedonia, and help us. And after he had seen the vision, immediately we endeavoured to go into Macedonia, assuredly gathering that the Lord had called us for to preach the gospel unto them. Therefore, loosing from Troas, we came with a straight course to Samothracia, I don't know these places, and the next day to Neapolis. No, it doesn't help with these things in my mouth. And went thence to Philippi, which is the chief city of that part of Macedonia, and a colony. And we were in that city abiding certain days. And on the Sabbath we went out of the city by a riverside, where prayer was wont to be made, and we sat down and spake unto the women which resorted thither. Lydia converted. And a certain woman named Lydia, a seller of purple, of the city of Thyatira, which worshipped God, heard us, whose heart the Lord opened, that she attended unto the things which were spoken of Paul. And when she was baptized, and her household, she besought us, saying, If ye have judged me to be faithful to the Lord, come into my house, and abide there. And she constrained us. And it came to pass, as we went to prayer, a certain damsel possessed with a spirit of divination met us, which brought her masters much gain by soothsaying. The same followed Paul and us, and cried, saying, These men are the servants of the Most High God, which shew unto us the way of salvation. And this did she many days. But Paul, being grieved, turned and said to the Spirit, I command thee in the name of Jesus Christ to come out of her. And he came out the same hour. Paul and Silas imprisoned. And when her masters saw that the hope of their gains was gone, they caught Paul and Silas, and drew them into the marketplace unto the rulers, and brought them to the magistrates, saying, These men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city, and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans. And the multitude rose up together against them, and the magistrates rent off their clothes, and commanded to beat them. And when they had laid many stripes upon them, they cast them into prison, charging the jailer to keep them safely, who, having received such a charge, thrust them into the inner prison, and made their feet fast in the stocks. And at midnight Paul and Silas prayed, and sang praises unto God, and the prisoners heard them. And suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken, and immediately all the doors were opened, and everyone's bands were loosed. And the keeper of the prison, awaking out of his sleep, and seeing the prison doors open, he drew out his sword, and would have killed himself, supposing that the prisoners had have fled. But Paul cried with a loud voice, saying, Do thyself no harm, for we are all here. Then he called for a light, and sprang in, and came trembling, and fell down before Paul and Silas, and brought them out, and prayed, and said, Sirs, what must I do to be saved? And they said, Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and thou shalt be saved, and thy house. And they spake unto him the word of the Lord, and to all that were in his house. And he took them the same hour of the night, and washed their stripes, and was baptized, he and all his, straightway. And when he had brought them into his house, he set meat before them, and rejoiced, believing in God with all his house. And when it was day, the magistrates sent the sergeants, saying, Let those men go. Sergeants. Is that a real word? Supposed to be servants. Version of sergeant. Okay. Their release. And the keeper of the prison told this saying to Paul, The magistrates have sent to let you go. Now therefore depart, and go in peace. But Paul said unto them, They have beaten us openly uncondemned, being Romans, and have cast us into prison. And now they thrust us out privily? Nay, verily, but let them come themselves and fetch us out. And the sergeants told these words unto the magistrates, and they feared, when they heard that they were Romans. And they came and besought them, and brought them out, and desired them to depart out of the city. And they went out of the prison, and entered into the house of Lydia. And when they had seen the brethren, they comforted them, and departed. Chapter 19. Paul's preaching at Thessalonica. And when they had passed through Amphipolis and Apollonia, they came to Thessalonica, which was the synagogue of the Jews. And Paul, as his master was, went in unto them, and these Sabbath days reasoned with them out of the Scriptures, opening and alleging that Christ must needs have suffered and risen again from the dead, and that this Jesus, whom I preach unto you, is Christ. And some of them believed, and consorted with Paul and Silas, and of the devout Greeks, a great multitude, and of the chief women not a few. The Jews persecute him, but the Jews which believed not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort, and gathered a company, and set all the city on an uproar, and assaulted the house of Jason, and besought to bring them out to the people. And when they found them not, they drew Jason and certain brethren unto the rulers of the city, crying, These that have turned the world upside down are come hither also, whom Jason hath received, and these all do contrary to the decrees of Caesar, saying that there is another king, one Jesus. And they troubled the people and the rulers of the city, and they heard these things. And when they had taken security of Jason and of the other, they let them go. He is sent to Berea. And the brethren immediately sent away Paul and Silas by night into Berea, who, coming thither, went into the synagogue of the Jews. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind, and searched the scriptures daily, whether those things were so. Therefore many of them believed, also of honourable women, which were Greeks, and of men, not a few. But when the Jews of Thessalonica had knowledge that the word of God was preached of Paul at Berca, they came thither also, at Berea, and stirred up the people. And then immediately the brethren sent away Paul to go as it were to the sea, but Silas and Timotheus abode there still. At Athens he preaches unknown. And they that conducted Paul brought him unto Athens, and received the commandment unto Silas and Timotheus for to come him with all speed. They departed. Now while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him, when he saw the city wholly given to the idolatry. Therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews, and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met him. And certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him, and some said, What will this blabber say? Others some, He seemeth to be a setter forth of strange gods, because he preached unto them Jesus and the resurrection. And they took him and brought him unto Areopagus, saying, May we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speakest is? For thou bringest certain strange things to our ears. We would know therefore what these things mean. For all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else, but either to tell or to hear some new thing. Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill, and said, Ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious. For as I passed by, and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with this inscription, To the unknown God, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship, him declare I unto you. God, that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands, neither is worshipped with men's hands, as though he needed anything, seeing he giveth to all life and breath and all things, and hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on the face of the earth, and hath determined the times before appointed, and the bounds of their habitation, that they should seek the Lord, if haply they might feel after him, and find him, though he be not far from every one of us. For in him we live, and move, and have our being, as certain also of your own poets have said, for we are also his offspring. For as much then as we are the offspring of God, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto God, or silver, or stone, graven by art and man's device. And the times of this ignorance God winked at, but now commandeth all men everywhere to repent, because he hath appointed a day, in the which he will judge the world in righteousness, by that man whom he hath ordained, whereof he hath given assurance unto all men, in that he hath raised him from the dead. And when they heard of the resurrection of the dead, some mocked, and others said, We will hear thee again of this matter. So Paul departed from among them. Howbeit certain men clave unto him, and believed, among the which was Dionysius and Areopagus, and a woman named Damaris, and others with them. Paul goes to Corinth. After these things, Paul departed from Athens, and came to Corinth, and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome, and came unto them. And because he was of the same craft, he abode with them, and wrought, for by their occupation they were tent makers. He preaches to the Gentiles. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath, and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks. And when Silas and Timotheus were come from Macedonia, Paul was pressed in the Spirit, and testified to the Jews that Jesus was Christ. And when they opposed themselves and blasphemed, he shook his raiment, and said unto them, Your blood be upon your own heads, I am clean. From henceforth I will go unto the Gentiles. And he departed thence, and entered into a certain man's house, named Justus, one that worshipped God, whose house joined hard to the synagogue. And Crispus, the chief ruler of the synagogue, believed on the Lord with all his house, and many of the Corinthians hearing believed, and were baptized. His vision. Then spake the Lord to Paul in the night by a vision, Be not afraid, but speak, and hold not thy peace, for I am with thee, and no man shall set on thee to hurt thee, for I have much people in this city. And he continued there 1 year and 6 months, teaching the word of God among them. The judgment of Gallio. And when Gallio was the deputy of Achaia, the Jews made insurrection with one accord against Paul, and brought him to the judgment seat, saying, This fellow persuadeth men to worship God contrary to the law. And when Paul was now about to open his mouth, Gallio said unto the Jews, If it were a matter of wrong or wicked lewdness, O ye Jews, reason would that I should bear with you. But if it be a question of words and names, and of your law, look ye to it, for I will be no judge of such matters. And he drave them from the judgment seat. Then all the Greeks took Sosthenes. What are these names? Sosthenes? The chief ruler of the synagogue, and beat him before the judgment seat. And Gallio cared for none of those things. And Paul after this tarried there yet a good while, and then took his leave of the brethren, and sailed thence into Syria, and with him Priscilla and Aquila, having shorn his head in Centuria, for he had a vow. And he came to Ephesus, and left them there, but he himself entered into the synagogue, and reasoned with the Jews. When they desired him to tarry longer time with them, he consented not, but bade them farewell, saying, I must by all means keep this feast that cometh in Jerusalem, but I will return again unto you, if God will. And he sailed from Ephesus. And when he had landed at Caesarea, and gone up, and saluted the church, he went down to Antioch. And after he had spent some time there, he departed, and went over all the country of Galatia and Phrygia in order, strengthening all the disciples. Preaching of Apollos. And a certain Jew named Apollos, born at Alexandria, an eloquent man, and mighty in the Scriptures, came to Ephesus. This man was instructed in the way of the Lord, and being fervent in the Spirit, he spake and taught diligently the things of the Lord, knowing only the baptism of John. And he began to speak boldly in the synagogue, whom when Aquila and Priscilla had heard, they took him unto them, and expounded unto him the way of God more perfectly. And when he was disposed to pass into Achaia, the brethren wrote, exhorting the disciples to receive him, who, when he was come, helped them much which had been believed through grace. For he mightily convinced the Jews, and that publicly, shewing by the Scriptures that Jesus was Christ. Chapter 19. Paul at Ephesus. And it came to pass that, while Apollos was at Corinth, Paul, having passed through the upper coast, came to Ephesus, and finding certain disciples, he said unto them, Have ye received the Holy Ghost, since ye believed? And they said unto him, We have not so much as heard whether there be any Holy Ghost. And he said unto them, Unto what then were ye baptized? And they said, Unto John's baptism. Then said Paul, John verily baptized with the baptism of repentance, saying unto the people that they should believe on him which should come after him, that is, on Christ Jesus. When they heard this, they were baptized in the name of the Lord Jesus. Gift of the Holy Ghost. And when Paul had laid his hands upon them, the Holy Ghost came on them, and they spake with tongues, and prophesied. And all the men were about 12. And he went into the synagogue, and spake boldly for the space of 3 months, disputing and persuading the things concerning the kingdom of God. And when divers were hardened, and believed not, but spake evil of that way before the multitude, he departed from them, and separated the disciples, disputing daily in the school of one Tyrannus. And this continued by the space of 2 years, so that all they which dwelt in Asia heard the word of the Lord Jesus, both Jews and Greeks. It's hard today. Been feeling off all day. Oh, I don't know. I'm sick of what's going on. Some days are just harder than others. This is one of those days. Special miracles, and God wrought special miracles by the hands of Paul, so that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs or aprons, and the diseases departed from them, and the evil spirits went out of them. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Jesus, saying, We adjure you, by Jesus whom Paul preacheth. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Jesus I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye? And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them, and overcame them, and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of that house naked and wounded. And this was known to all the Jews and Greeks also dwelling at Ephesus, and fear fell on them all. And the name of the Lord Jesus was magnified. And many that believed came and confessed and shewed their deeds. Many of them also, which used curious arts, brought their books together, and burned them all before all men. And they counted the price of them, and found it 50,000 pieces of silver. So mightily grew the word of God and prevailed. After these things were ended, Paul purposed in the Spirit, and when he had passed through Macedonia and Achaia, and go to Jerusalem, saying, After I have been there, I must also see Rome. So he went into Macedonia, 2 of them that ministered unto him, Timotheus and Erastus, but he himself stayed in Asia for a season. And the same time there arose no small stir about that way. Uproar of the craftsmen. For a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, which made silver shrines for Diana, brought no small gain unto the craftsmen, whom he called together with the workmen of like occupation, and said, Sirs, ye know that by this craft we have our wealth. Moreover ye see and hear, that not alone of Ephesus, but almost throughout all Asia, this Paul hath persuaded and turned away much people, saying that they be no gods, which are made with hands. So that not only this our craft is in danger to be set at naught, but also that the temple of the great goddess of Diana should be despised, and her magnificence should be destroyed, whom all Asia and the world worshipped. And when they heard these sayings, they were full of wrath, and cried out, saying, Great is Diana of the Ephesians. And the whole city was filled with confusion, and having caught Gaius and Aristarchus, men of Macedonia, Paul's companions in travel, they rushed with one accord into the theatre. And when Paul would have entered in unto the people, the disciples suffered him not. And certain of the chief of Asia, which were his friends, sent unto him, desiring him that he would not adventure himself into the theatre. Some therefore cried one thing, and some another, for the assembly was confused, and the more part knew not wherefore they were come together. And they drew Alexander out of the multitude, the Jews putting him forward. And Alexander beckoned with the hand, and would have made his defence unto the people. But when they knew that he was a Jew, all with one voice about the space of 2 hours cried out, Great is Diana of the Ephesians. Address of the town clerk. And when the town clerk had appeased the people, he said, Ye men of Ephesus, what man is there that knoweth not how that the city of the Ephesians is a worshipper of the great goddess Diana, and of the image which fell down from Jupiter? Seeing then that these things cannot be spoken against, ye ought to be quiet, and do nothing rashly. For ye have brought hither these men, which are neither robbers of churches, nor yet blasphemers of your goddess. Wherefore of Demetrius and the craftsmen which are with him have a matter against any man. The law is open, and there are deputies. Let them implead one another. But if ye inquire anything concerning other matters, it shall be determined in a lawful assembly. For we are in danger to be called in question for this day's uproar, there being no cause whereby we may give an account of this concourse. And when he had thus spoken, he dismissed the assembly. I'm going to read the last bit quietly. A good time to do that too. All these weird names. Oh. Alrighty. Could be all the supplements, to be honest.
Too much at once.
Could be. But he's like trying to hyper adjust or something.
We're introducing too many.
It's very possible.
Hard one or two and see.
But I'm not like that. I reckon it's going to help me lose weight, that's for sure. I feel hot.
But you haven't got already.
Funny how it works. I'm feeling like that, like it just doesn't kick in fast. Like I said, you don't catch it during like post syndrome and all that stuff, and she looks like she's had it for years and years. She's already got a spin and put in and all that sort of stuff. So I don't think I've caught polio. Isn't this updating? What's going on? Munchies.
For me.
Yeah.
Usually it's you.
Yeah, I can't with these. I'm gonna be losing a lot of weight just from them.
Being restricted.
Yep. I wish it wasn't that way, but
Hmm?
I wish it wasn't that way.
Mm-hmm.
I like my little snacks at night.
Mm.
But I'm gonna have to be a good boy.
Liquidize it and put it down an easy gastric.
No, it's that crunch. When it contrasts with like tomatoes. How's it going? Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. What's going on? It's been having fun? Yeah, this is day 69. Everyone loves day 69, I think. Let's be honest. It's a special number in all our hearts. Yep, another Aussie. What's going on, Rebecca? You always say that, Skilby from the West Coast. Yeah. Hey, James, did I put you up on the flag? I don't know if I did. I forgot to ask that. I keep forgetting. My mind's like shot. Parts. I did. Oh, sorry about that. I keep forgetting. He just finished playing KOTOR Star Wars. Oh yeah, he's been doing good at that. He's been kicking ass, hasn't he? He's a gun. Is everyone here from Australia? I feel like everyone's from Australia. You seem to get the all Aussie crew coming along. New South Wales, yep. Oh, okay. New South Wales. Whereabouts are you from? Because you followed, so I got to give you a This is how it works. When people follow, see the big map behind me? You get to put you get to choose a color flag, and I put it up. I try to find roughly to where you live. So you got to pick a color. You got purple, black, white, blue, yellow, green, red, orange. Now my parents are from the Arctic. Nutclap, eh? What inspired the name? Purple for me. Alrighty. So whereabouts in New South are you from? But they met each other in Alaska's biggest city. Oh bro, that's so confusing, eh? Their nuts clapped together clearly. Yeah, well. Well. Wish I could get my nuts to clap together. They just slap against my legs sometimes. What are you? Who do they say? It's classified. Ah, yeah. Clap my nuts. Now what's this? Alright, blue. Sorry, I'll grab purple. Blue. City. There we go. First person from New South Wales. Happy days. It's classified. Blame PW. He brought the king chats to your stream. Oh, I think all the chats get a little bit kinky once in a while. I truly believe that. Who just followed? Because it's not popping up on my end here. Because I don't know what's going on with my my alerts and my activity, but it's not telling me. Who said that they hit it? Purple for me. Rebecca, purple. Alright, Rebecca, where are you from? So that's where I read purple. I clap my nuts when I doggy style pussy. Well. Well. Fair enough. Alright, Perth it is. Alright. Alrighty. There we go. Next to Perth. There we go. Well, I hope everyone's been having a great night. PW is a wonderful man. He's very magnificent, like all of you. Yep, the wrong side of the country, Western Australia, yeah. Nothing wrong with Western Australia. Doing it right, because she can't reach at that point. Fuck. Rebecca, so obsessed with purple. It was part of her autism assessment. You know, I teach people with autism how to drive. So I could help you out if you haven't got your license. An East-West versus West rivalry. Yep. Yeah, I do. I'm working on helping those with like anxiety disorders, and I'm about to work for a company that's been doing it for like 30, 40 years. So that'll be very interesting. Like I said, you have all these special controls and modifications in the car. You help those with all sorts of different conditions and disabilities. You know, people in wheelchairs. Like you can get people to drive with many different conditions. Yeah, Western Australia would be a long commute from Victoria, I'm afraid. At the moment, I'm just writing. I finished the reading. You didn't miss very much. I was just reading the Bible, and then I don't know, I'm feeling a bit off today, so I was struggling. So I ended up doing the last like 10 minutes quietly because I just couldn't do it. I got these aligner things, and they're making me have a lisp. Back when I was learning, my grandmother was a driving instructor, which helped me out a lot. True, that would help. Yeah, you need a lot of patience for it. What's your shenanigans? I'm Melbourne, just on the east side of Melbourne, southeast. Oh, where I'm in the Bible. Okay, yeah, well, not southeast. I'm so far. I read the Old Testament. Now I'm under the New Testament. And I'm in the Acts at the moment. Caught in the Acts. And I'm about that far. I got that much left. So it's still going to be a little while. Still looks like it's going to be a few months worth of reading. And it's the Old English version, which is very, very difficult to read with the where art thou and, you know, thiseth, thatest, everything's got an ST or a TH on the end of it. I feel like I'm getting a lisp. Any relief from the Bible for your worries? Oh, of course, you know. It's got all the answers, you know. No, my shenanigans. I mean, what's up with you, brother? Oh, not a great deal. I'm just tired. I just do a lot of So I've got this weird theory, yeah, where I wasted a lot of time. Like I pretty much wasted my whole 20s. Like that's what this 1,000-day challenge that I'm doing is all about. Because my 1,000-day challenge is to do what? 30 minutes of reading, 30 minutes of writing every day, 30 minutes of exercise. And unless I'm like really sick as a dog and I need to recover. And now I'm doing 1,000 days of streaming. On top of it, so I'm streaming every day. And then I don't have any alcohol. I don't smoke. I don't take any drugs. I don't even have takeout food. So like I don't have no junk food whatsoever. So no Macca's, no KFC, no charcoal chicken, none of the good stuff. And I'm doing this as like a test of willpower to because like I said, I was addicted real bad. I was like, you know, bad on the alcohol and bad smoking weed. Like just wake up, get stoned all the time. It just wasn't good. And I never really wanted to do it. You know, like it's cute and good, all good for a little while. But after a while, you know that you shouldn't be doing it. And so I realized I was a slave to my mind, and I was sick of that. So I want my mind to be a slave to me. And so yeah, that's sort of where this challenge comes from. I thought, you know what? I'm never gonna fucking fall back into that. I'm gonna get in control. And so that's what it is. So I think now, instead of being addicted to bad things, I'm addicted to just accomplishing things and doing things, and I'm sort of turning into a workaholic and just trying to accomplish. I've accomplished so much stuff. I've like written a book already. One book I'm working on, like these two like what is it, like they're professional development books, you know, one's for driving instructor because I'm going to be a dog trainer too, so one's for that. So I'm sort of working on them side by side. I'm just sort of doing heaps and heaps of shit. Pedal back or power through. What's my favorite? Oh yeah, dedication. Yeah, it takes a little bit, but I got, you know, I'm gonna do it just because I'm severely determined. My favorite Bible verse. See, that's the thing. I've got a shitty memory, so I don't even really remember the verses. All I remember is the gist of it, which is be good, be righteous, do the right thing. Like I couldn't actually tell you a verse. Like I read this shit and I can barely tell you what's on it unless it's like a memorable story. You know what I mean? I'm not good with like quotes and shit like that. Like if you've listened to me, I've read this thing for like probably at least tens of hours on stream, and I can't remember fucking a single sentence nearly. Do you have one? You got a favorite one? Nut clapper? Fuck, I can't get over that. Are you like religious? Yeah, I'm religious. That's a long story too. I was a hardcore atheist for a while, but then there was a series of circumstances that brought me to it. And like I said, I don't go around Bible bashing though, because I remember when I was an atheist, the last thing you want to do is fucking keep beating people over the head with it. It's not very good. It's not pleasant. So I don't do that to people. I sort of keep it on the more quiet side. Galatians. Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, there was a few good ones in there. I saw a few good quotes from that. I wish I could remember them, but I know that there's a few good ones in there. Let me read that. Add 30 minutes singing challenge. No. I can't sing. You should know that, Christoph. Galatians 3:23. All right. Before the coming of this, see, I can barely read today. Before the coming of this faith, we were held in custody under the law, locked up until the faith that was to come would be revealed. So the law was our guardian until Christ came, that we might be justified by faith. Now that this faith has come, we are no longer under a guardian. True. Yep. What's LDS? I don't even know what that is. Not sure. But yeah, I'm not someone who's going to like, Latter-day Saint. And I don't even know what that is. I've heard of it. What is Latter-day Saints? Largest denomination within the Latter-day Saints movement. Well, that makes sense. The Mormons. Oh, really? Are you actually a Mormon? See, I got this theory, like when it comes to Christ. Like I remember in Corinthians, because I sort of remember the sermons sometimes when I do go to church. And there was one where he's talking about, it's Paul, and he's going on about how, because everyone in Corinthia or Corinth is doing, like, they're being immoral, they're not being good. And they're fornicating and sleeping with their stepmoms. It's all Pornhub sort of shit, and everyone's out of control. You know what I mean? And so what's happened is he's talking to them, and he said, well, you claim to follow Stephen, you claim to follow this guy, you claim to follow Peter, you claim to follow Christ. He's like, when we should all just be, it's all just Jesus, you know what I mean? And I look at that when he was saying that you all claim to follow different things. I looked at that as the different denominations. Like the head of the Catholic Church shouldn't be a pope. The head of the Anglican Church shouldn't be a bishop. They should all have one head. And that should be Jesus, if that makes sense to me, And so I said that to the guy, because I go to an Anglican church, but I visit heaps of churches. I don't really believe in going to one church, because it says you should just hang out with people who believe. So I don't like when they say, no, you should just attend one church. But no, I've never even met a Mormon. I've never met a Mormon. I heard you guys are very happy people, though. Happier than your average Christian. All the Mormons I have met left their denomination. What do you mean? What do you mean, no? But why? Why do they leave? Is that because of the Joseph Smith thing? We are not happy. Why not? Here we go. We're going to get to the core of it. Let's get to the crux of the issue. I said, no, we are not happy. Yeah. And I said, why not? Why aren't you happy? Am I missing something here? I'm a simple man. Sometimes it has to be spelt out. There are a lot of people who say that, but we are just hopeful. You've got to have some hope in you, you know what I mean? In this world, if everyone's just, if everyone's pessimistic and doesn't see the best, then nothing will happen, You've got to have some level of optimism and hope. Like, I don't really know. Like, I wish I was more educated on it all so I could speak more on it properly, but I really am just a simple man. I sort of just hear the story, like, and know that even if he did one thing, it's all real. Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of strange things that are just more than coincidences that, that are hard to just write off as that. Did you used to be a Mormon too, Nutclever? Are you a Latter-day Saint? How does, like, I'm confused. Do you believe in it? Well, you gave me a quote, so I'm guessing you do. Don't worry about anything. God is watching you always. Yeah, Kushdab fancies himself a god too. One thing for us, we believe everyone gets a second chance, even after death. No, at first I was best friends with one. At first. What are you typing? I'm typing about it's the driving book I'm trying to work on. Like I said, I'm trying to build these books because I ultimately want to make a course with my experience from being a driving instructor to help other driving instructors. I want to make a course that like promotes road safety, can help. It doesn't even have to be for driving instructors. It's for those who want to be able to teach more effectively in the car and slowly go through it, and acts as a guide for that. More road safety, just being like more common sense, driver psychology. So I'm trying to come up with something like that promotes safety and just like better behaviors and more knowledge, what to expect. Because you don't get taught very much in the instructor's course. You sort of just get, well, they give you the gist of it, and then they just throw you out, and you figure it all out on your own. You know, there's no real like help. Half of the people that get passed shouldn't even have their authority to teach, because if you can't, like I saw people who couldn't parallel park, and if you can't reverse parallel park, how are you supposed to teach it to other people? You know. So just stuff like that, and they just hand out these tickets left, right, and center like they're cheap candy. And I told him, no, I don't just pass out. I wouldn't pass out to anyone. I'd fail a lot of people. I said that if you can't do it, you shouldn't be able to teach it. You know, otherwise you're just going to teach bad habits. You're going to go out there and create more bad drivers, which is what we're kind of trying to avoid as driving instructors. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. I'm working on that, and then like I can't really do much about the dog training yet. But for the dog training, it's just a because anyone can teach a dog really to sit and stay and go drop and all that sort of stuff. But the thing that's I think needs to be specialized in is the behavioral side of things, like how to really deal with all types of fear and aggression, separation, anxiety, destructive behaviors, you know, compulsive behaviors. Like there's a whole comprehensive list, and each one should have multiple approaches for different dogs because it's not a one size fits all. So I'm trying to make some comprehensive guide that either dog owners can just use, like people who are interested in dogs, and other professionals, because there's not many dog behaviorists. Everyone just wants to teach your dog to sit. So I'm trying to work on that too. I'm trying to work on these side by side because I just finished a book called The Ramblings of the Magnificent One, which is just me shooting the shit, really. It's not, I wouldn't even call it a book. I wouldn't read it. I say at the start, do not read this book. It's not really a book. You could barely classify it as that. Like I shit on the whole thing. So, yeah. Thank you. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. Just change the lighting on me. There we go. So yeah, does everyone here read and write, or what's everyone's story? What's everyone been doing? Nah, it's good. I appreciate that. I said that it's a test of endurance. You right? Oh, that's right. You do right. Did he finish the He finished your story, yeah, James? That was pretty good. I was getting into that when he was reading it. He's a pretty good reader. Surviving, not thriving. Oh, that's not good, bro. What's going on? How old are you? What? He. Oh, it's not your story, it's someone else's. That's right. Oh, are you the one who was writing the fantasy? I forgot. Trying to remember. I need dementia pills or something. Fucking hell. Gotta stay away from the drugs. I reckon doing them for years and years and years did a number on me. Oh well. Lucky I didn't lose hope, so I'm still ultra determined. Yeah, I am. Well, you were paying attention. there's glimpses that kick through. That sit through. Like I've got this like weird philosophy, yeah, like we're already dead. You know what I mean? I look at it like we're already a bag of bones. We're already dust. So I believe there's no mucking about. You know what I mean? You've really got to find what you want to do, because it's that same old, you know, I've listened to so many self-help things and motivation things and all that sort of crap. And it's just like, it's one thing to listen to it, it's another thing to actually put it in action. It's another thing completely to do that. And so now I'm trying to do that like 100%. Like I've got a vision, I've got goals. Like I said, I know what to do. I know the hard work that goes into it. So yeah, sometimes I get tired, really, really tired, and I can barely because I do this this stream stuff so late at night. It's probably not wise. I'm probably better off getting up at like 5 in the morning and doing it, but I'm sure my wife would not be happy. But the point is, like, we haven't got long, ultimately, you know, that whole YOLO shit. It's just like, my philosophy is like every philosophy rolled into one. Be productive, do what is good, do what is useful. Don't fuck around. Keep moving. You know, persevere. Life is shit sometimes, but it's also great. You know, stay strong, yada, yada, yada. And keep going. Been doing this shtick. Yeah, this is my shtick. Yeah. Be positive. You can do it. You know. Yeah, I myself am trying to be the doer, not just the planner. Yeah, the paralysis by analysis. Hey, you nearly died, did you? What happened there? Well, yeah, yes, man. Man, I'm so confused with you, Nutclapper. I need to actually talk to you, I think, and you seem like a very interesting dude. Yeah, but my shtick is to just, yeah. I cannot not be me. I must be me. I must do what I want. I want to help people. I want to do what I want to do, and I'm just going to do it. So, that's my shtick, really. Try to encourage people. Do, you know, my best. Help others, because, like, you know, like, when you're a young man, like, that's why I don't know about you, but, like, I was, like, seriously depressed for years. Like, from between, like, 19 to, was it, like, 5 years? To, like, 24, 25. And I, like I said, you know, I was, like, suicidal real bad. Like, and then it was a strange occurrence, but to think, like, the same mind that can want to, like, end it all is the same mind that can experience such euphoria and bliss. You know what I mean? Like that weird duality of the human psyche. How you can experience, like, the opposite emotions and like, I don't know. I think about that sort of stuff a lot. Like, yeah, I'm glad I never did it. But yeah. I had twins and the pregnancy did not go to plan. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. They were dying inside me, and my body was trying to keep them alive. It got to the point I had to say goodbye because I chose my kids to be priority, not me. Well, oof. Well, it was really bad. I was coughing blood. Oh, God. That's fucked up. Holy shit. No, that's pretty rough. Yeah, still rough to go through that. Yeah, so no, that would have, so yeah, you probably would have a very precarious position, critical condition, you know. The closest I got to death, it was sort of my wake-up call, was because I was smoking weed so much, I had something that was laced with ice, and I swear that nearly killed me. because like people I knew that had the same batch had strokes. I didn't have a stroke, luckily. I don't know how I did it with my blood pressure, but like I said, yeah, it's weird when you're looking on the machine because I got one at home and it said 200 over like 150 or something. I could hear my heart knocking, like it was so bizarre. But I thought I was gonna die. I was like, holy shit, my heart's actually just gonna explode on me. But yeah, those sorts of things they give you a wake up call. You know what I mean? Serious wake up call. But is the baby good now anyway? Like, are your kids happy? Are they good? I take it so. The twins. I hope so. Yeah, they are good, healthy, but X threw us out, so getting divorced. Oh, geez, you've been through a fair bit recently, haven't you? PTSD on top of it all, too. Fucking hell. My wake up call never came. I'm just enjoying the decline. Slaying NPCs. I swear, you are someone I'd love to have a beer with, I reckon. The PTSD, I don't know whether you really want to disclose where that came from. Like, yeah, that can be touchy. So I don't know if I want to get into that or whether you want to get into that. So it's probably too early to be talking about that. But yeah, it can be hard for partners, especially. Like you know, because the whole brain, from what I remember, the brain kind of flips upside down in a way in order to protect itself. So where you might have been non-confrontational in certain circumstances, you'll be more confrontational, and that's just for the brain. It's trying to figure out a way to preserve itself and protect itself because something horrible has happened in the past. And because the brain was the way it was, whatever the way it was when it happened in the past, it goes through this like full-on change that makes it so that, you know, you're pretty much a completely different person, and it's really just a method for like a self. How do you explain it? It's like a survival instinct that where this entire fucking thing changes in your mind to preserve itself. I explained that so poorly. That was not good. Fucking hell. It was that event. I had COVID and separated from my children and husband with no contact ever since my... Oh, yeah. Doctors were understaffed. I didn't know what happened to my kid 6 days later. Fucking hell. That would do a number on you. The medical system's a mess, man. It's a fucking disaster. Check the Discord. You ever made some AI of you trying to beat the shit out of me, have you? On it?
I'll screw you.
What have we got? Which one should I open? The second from the bottom left. The bottom one, second from the left. Tell us about the medical system mess. I will tell you. I can tell you. Like, this is how it works, yeah? I had my first child when I was 14. Yeah, just about 15. Like, you know, because when you're young, I always say, you know, when you're a male and you're full of testosterone, certain parts of your anatomy, if you know what I mean, they lead you like a compass. And my thing led me straight to women. You know, like I got my partner pregnant, or my wife now, pregnant within 3 months of meeting her. And so she got pregnant, and then he was born with kidney failure. And because he was born with a failed kidney, like straight away I was exposed to the medical system for years. He didn't get like a transplant till he was 4 years old. So from that age, being young, they treat you like you don't know anything, and to a degree you don't know anything. But I still had I was still kind of switched on enough. I saved him in like a circumstance. There was something I figured out that they couldn't figure out. Fucking just like the way the nurses treat you, you know, some of the way the doctors dismiss you, the way they get shit wrong on the regular, the way they miscommunicate all the time, that it's a fucking disaster, some of the medical system shit you've got to deal with. So yeah, that's what I mean by it's a mess. You know what I mean? Sometimes they hire just fucking whack jobs. Like I had some nurse who was a dude, he was like this gay fella, and he was explaining how like he could like he made up these fucking rumors about me and my wife when we were in there. He said he could hide a crime scene because he studied forensic science. Like he could murder someone and with like the inside of a vacuum bag. Like why the fuck are you telling me this, mate? Like just change the fucking IV. I don't want to hear about how to cover a crime scene. Like with the contents of a vacuum bag because it will screw with the DNA of everything in the crime scene. I don't need to know this, all right? My youngest is constantly in and out of the hospital and rushed out. Why? What's going on? What is this? Australia is best. America is second. UK is the worst. No, Canada is the worst of the worst. I don't know. If we're the best, like this is the thing, like, because you only like, because the best doctors and that they all work in the private, like the sectors, it would seem like. But what would I know? I don't know. Like, I believe ChatGPT and certain things, like, there are a lot of people who I don't really know what I'm talking about. It just feels like some of them don't know what they're doing. See, I've got this theory, I'll tell you. Canada self-terminates. He has bad asthma. Oh, yeah, so that puts him in and out, does it? Wow. There's no real treatment plan for that except for just the pumps and the preventers, isn't there? So, what else can you do? I'm guessing you've tried to like clear shit in the house, and you know, does he get that thunderstorm shit? You know, and like sometimes it's in the air during the thunderstorms, that weird phenomena. So this is the thing. What was it? Oh fuck, I forgot. So that's another side effect of the weed. You easily forget things. Even like I haven't had anything since what the 1st of January at all. Yeah, 69 days. No, it's been more than that. I went 80 something days into the challenge. And then I forgot to exercise, so I reset the challenge, and I'm 69 days into the reset. So really, I'm like 130 something if you minus that. But I'm a mad bastard, so I reset it. Pretty much, yeah. I got 4 kids, all up my twins are in between. Oh wow, nice. That will keep you very busy. That'll keep you very, very busy. I think about having more kids, but I don't. I'm not sure. But you never regret it, you know what I mean? I'm 29. Insane more than busy. They will fucking drive you nuts. Especially, yeah, I'm at the age where they're just, my two are going at each other all the time, and you're just like, this shit isn't going to stop for fucking at least 5 years. 29 as well. Look at that. Nice. It's good age. I got it together late. Better late than never, you know. Can't complain. Fuck, what was that thing I wanted to say? It was about the medical system still. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. I have this theory that I've realized. Like I said, there's people who are educated. There's people who are intelligent. And then the people who are both highly educated and intelligent together, because they're not always the same, but when they're combined, they're the geniuses of the world. See? So I figured that out. Like, I figured most people that come out of the universities and study a major course like medicine or something like that, you need a great memory because all you got to do is memorize the books. And I learned that from dealing with these doctors. They weren't creative. They couldn't come up with any ideas on their own. They weren't like researchers or people that could actually come up and create. They were people that could just read like book after book and remember every single thing in it. And so they would go by the book, so to speak. And so when you said, but what about this and what about this, you know, we haven't tried this or that, and like, and I'm looking into it and I know how things are connected, you know, because that's what sort of like relative intelligence is. You're just connecting patterns and trying to link things up in different abstract ways. And well, it's one form of intelligence where so like they would look at me like I'm stupid. You know what I mean? And one of the circumstances, I like saved my son. But like I said, so there's people who can remember things, and they're the highly educated. Like I said, they'll lecture you without listening to anything. They're not very open-minded except for what they've learned. Then you've got the creative types, which are obviously people that, you know, make things and do things. They actually like, That comes from a certain level of intelligence, the ability to create and link things up and come up with solutions and come up with novel ideas. And then the geniuses are, like I said, those who have a great memory and they're super intelligent and creative. And they're like the Musks or the Da Vinci's, or that sort of thing. The I don't know, what'd you say, Tesla? Nikola Tesla. These weird freaks, these anomalies. They're the geniuses. So in the medical system, you're full of educated people. And educated people are not very well, they're not always smart. Just because they know things doesn't mean they're fucking smart. Like that can be a mutually exclusive thing. So insightful, I don't know. This is just what I've had. When you've sat in a room a long time and you're smoking bong after bong for years, you tend to think of some weird stuff, I guess. Yeah, that's where half my ideas come from. Yes, they were ostracized. Who were ostracized? Tesla. Yeah, he died alone with no children. True, true. Unlike Musk. But Da Vinci, they say Da Vinci was gay from what I heard. But I don't know. I never got a chance to ask him. Tesla, I don't know. He's probably the most mysterious out of the whole bunch, to be honest. I don't really know enough about him. I know he had this idea of free electricity. I don't know how true that is. I never really studied it. I know he believes in like the power of frequencies and vibrations and such, but that he was like a polymath and he learned several languages. He was like just a fucking super genius. Musk is not a genius. He was doing stock fraud to boost his stocks, which is still kind of genius. Nah, you know what I mean. By genius, I mean like he's actually got a plan to get people to the moon. He's actually moon, fucking hell, Mitchell. Mars, and like the self-driving cars and just shit like that. What else does he do? The Neuralink thing, that's a weird one. I don't know about that one. That's probably the strangest of them all. And when you listen to him speak, he's fucking intelligent. He's got an extreme memory and he's extremely creative. So I do classify him in the genius category. Like him or not, he's a smart man. He mocks Nikola Tesla by naming a car after Tesla. Yeah, I don't know why he does that. He said, yeah, like I didn't do that for his sake. It was yeah, he said he did say that he was mocking him with it, didn't he? And China's cars are better. Can't argue with that. I heard they explode just a little less. Because they stole from him. China stole from Musk. Is that what you're saying? But like I said, I don't really know very much. I just sort of think and then I just speak. And then and sometimes it gets me into trouble. And then I don't really give a shit in the end. You got to be real. You got to say what's on your mind. No point hold on, what is this? And China's cars are better because they stole from him, Musk. Donald Trump's visit to China. Yeah, it's good. You just got to be honest, you know what I mean? Who gives a shit what anyone says? Musk was there. What was Musk at the China thing? Huh. Was he trying to cut a deal for all the, what do you call it? Like all the supplies and all the equipment you need, products, all that sort of stuff in order for his cars and making deals? Nutclapper. Fucking hell, what a name. Musk did a selfie with a competitor and made a weird face. Isn't that just his face? I knew I should have called myself Muff Cream. You know my gamer thing, because like I call myself on this magnificent one, right? But when I play games, it's always foreskins. That's what I call it, Foreskin69. So yeah. And people say, why do you say that? And I say, it's so people know I'm not Jewish. That's the main reason. Not many people are call themselves foreskins. It's fucking stupid, but oh well. I am a simple man. These things amuse me. Muff creamer. Oh fuck. The Germans overlooking you. Yep. Yep. Well, you know, I got Germans in my This probably makes it. This is another layer. I have German ancestry, so you know. Yeah, I get called the N-word once in a while. So yeah. But Dutch. The other half's Dutch. Oh yeah. People are like, oh, you're German, are you a Nazi? I'm like, no. The fuck? What are you talking about? You say one thing they don't like online, they call you a Nazi, and then yeah. And then they find out I'm German and I'm a Nazi, so oh god, it's just, you just can't win with these people. And you can't even do the salute in Victoria. You know, they banned that. They banned it just doing the actual action. You know, that thing that, remember when Musk did the thing where he like tapped his arm and no more saluting around here. You can't even wave to your neighbor the wrong way. You know, someone takes a photo, they're like, look at this cunt over here, look what he's doing. Look at him, he's doing the Nazi salute, we could report him. We can get like, what's the fine? Yeah, what is the Nazi salute? What is it? Criminal charges. In Victoria, performing the Nazi salute in public is a criminal offence under the Summary Offences Act 1966. 1966? Well, I heard that was like brand new. What? That old? Offenders face maximum penalties of 23 grand, 12 months in prison, or both. Police can also issue a $1,900 fine for failing to comply with the direction to stop the gesture. Okay, so you can do it a little bit, then they'll stop you. Can't go look at that. Oi, what's the Belmats? What's the Belmat salute? Never even heard of that. Belmat salute. or Bellamy salute. The Bellamy salute was the original hand gesture used by Americans while reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, look at that. They are doing it. Congress officially replaced it with the hand over heart gesture in December 1942 to avoid public confusion and discomfort because it closely resembled the Nazi and fascist salutes. Holy mackerel. Look at that, eh? Look at that. That's wild. Oh, where did fucking Twitch go? Here we go. Holy mackerel. That's how they used to play. There he is. There's Musk. Holy shit. The Roman salute. It's just like something that everybody does, like in one time of history. I've done it waving goodbye to my, like, you know, the people at the school. Like, hello, see ya, bye-bye. You know, you kind of do it without even thinking about it. Like, don't get me wrong, the hand isn't just, like, stuck in that position. You know, you wouldn't want to block out the sun the wrong way. You're like, well, you know, fucking hell. No, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not actually doing the salute. I'm just saying so many things can get mixed up with it. That's my point. It is what it is. And people will say, it's just the German coming out in him. No, I'm just proving a point. You can't say goodbye to your neighbor a certain way or hi to your neighbor a certain way. You can't block the sun out of your eyes. You got to be very careful. You know, fucking hell. That's so stupid. You watch, but someone will take that small clip. You know, don't clip that. And you say, and what they'll do is they'll say, look at this Nazi scum. Look at this piece of work right here. My God, what are we going to do with this guy? Like I said, kick him off that platform, ban him. They probably won't let that go on YouTube now. America did it too. Yeah, they all do it, you know. Even just like the salutes, like in particular, like when you know, that's half of it, and the other half ends like the other. It's a salute. But it's just when they go to those anti-immigration places and they're yeah, it's just when you go to those marches. That's when they get in trouble really for doing it. But yeah. How the fuck did I roll under that, mate? Oh yeah, that's right. Because yeah, I'm German. It was Roman at first. Everyone is sensitive. It's political correctness gone insane. You can't say the truth. You get up, people get all whingy about it. It's like, fucking hell. It's just, you should be able to have a discussion. I always say, attack the ideas, not the person. If you have to resort to attacking the person, then you don't have a point. Like, it seems pretty simple to me, doesn't it? Like, I think everyone would agree with that. If you can't attack the idea, then you've got no leg to stand on in terms of, like, an argument. You've just, like, resorting to name-calling and nonsense. Yeah, well, you're this, you're that. It's like, it's silly. Like, I'll talk to anyone as long as they, like, will attack the idea and not the person. You know? It was the Romans. Did the Romans do it? They did do it, didn't they? They would have done it. I could see them doing it. Hail Caesar, wasn't it? That's just off the top of my head. I swear I've seen it in the old movies. They go see Caesar, you know, and straight away they're, Hail Caesar. And they stopped doing it a little more after the in the 1940s. They dialed it down a little bit. Yes, absolutely. Like I am with trans people, and they are very open in talking about it with me, especially with me being religious, rather than us getting offended. Investigate, not interrogate. Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I always say that I've got nothing against trans people. I just don't want them in sports. And I just, like, in women's sports in particular. So, this is my thing. When people are doing boxing or MMA or some physical shit, like anything that's physical, right? They have to be separated. They just have to be separated because biology is biology. All right, you just can't get around that. But when it comes to things that are a precision, right? This is what I say: men should and women should be able to play in sports like pool, which I'm pretty sure they can anyway. They should be able to play in archery. You know, anyone can just use a piece of archery, darts, bowling, you know, stuff like that, where it's all precision based. That I believe fair game because it's just precision. There's no physical advantage per se. Not, I don't think so. Not when it comes to just like certain accuracy sports. Shooting, I reckon women could do shooting. Like, you know, at least on that one where you laser it, like that guy, the real cool guy. He has like his hand in his pocket and he's just like super relaxed and nonchalant. You know that guy. You know, stuff like that. But when it comes to like, yeah, fucking hell, getting in an MMA fight. My partner also agreed with that. Trans is a form of expression, and biology shouldn't be overlooked, which is where we often meet middle ground. Yeah, like it is what it is. Like for the most part, as long as they're not hurting anyone, and like, you know, I didn't want my kids to be taught about it because, like, for example, I took my daughter out of like they do health class, and I thought health class was like, all right, you're going to learn about your body. This is how things work. Maybe this is what you eat to stay healthy. Maybe you learn about, I don't know, this is poisonous, stay away from that. Don't drink alcohol. Don't smoke, all that sort of shit. You know, just general health advice. You know, but no, it's like, what gender are you? Like she's only 10, mind you, and she's being taught this. What's your sexuality? You know, this sort of shit. I'm like, this is very fucking inappropriate. I wrote them a very nasty letter. I said, you should not be teaching that shit. Like I said, I'm going to pick up my daughter during these fucking times because it's inappropriate. My daughter would agree with that. My partner, yeah. What? Sorry. Now it's sex, exactly. And it's like, don't teach it to fucking kids, all right? Because this is the thing, when it comes to what's your gender, like I said, you figure out, you know if you're a boy or a girl, because, like, you know when you're young, you know, like they say cover your privates up. And when you go to the toilet, you sort of go, well, that's that, eh? You know what you are when you go to the fucking toilet. You know, and then you got your sexuality. You're going to figure that out as time goes on. You don't need to be influenced and have shit fucking, you know, what do you call it? Like, you don't need outside influences. Like, you know pretty quickly who you like, you know, because you like them. You don't need someone to say, you know, you might actually be this or this or this or this, and you're fucking putting all these weird things in the kids' heads. That's just what I think, anyway. Should be about safety and modesty, man. Yeah, exactly. They'll be exposed to it in a teen stage. Exactly. Even then, like there's a thing that you quickly realize your sexuality. It's called puberty for the most part, and sometimes it's even before that. You might figure it out. You know, I like Barbie dolls. You know, I realized very quick. I was like, I don't like Ken, and I like Barbie. You know, that didn't mean I was gay. I was like, you know, I liked her because, you know, she looks a lot better than the guy. Like, this is how I knew. Like I remember, right? It was quite funny. I didn't know what a good-looking man was for years and years and years. Like, I didn't even know. I thought, because my dad would say this about certain guys. He'd say, "Oh, you know, he's a good-looking rooster." Because you know how like women know another good-looking woman, and for the most part, men know what other good-looking men look like. I'm so straight that, like, my wife taught me. Like, I said, "What is a good-looking man?" Because I just don't know what it is. Because when my dad said, "You see, that's a good-looking rooster over there," I thought he was gay. I thought he was gay. I was like, Is my dad actually?" Like, he confused me. Like when he said that, I was like, "A good-looking man." I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, and then my wife explained to me, oh, something about cheekbones and jaw lines and certain like proportions and shit like that women like. Like, I literally needed an education on it because I just didn't understand that instinctually. Because I was like, no, I just like women. Women are the things that look good. Like, that's what went through my, you know. But yeah. I figured that out on my own. You know, you sort of know, like when someone said, "Do you like boys or whatever?" I was like, "No, no, I like the women." But in these days and age, it's like you never know. You might actually like it. It's like don't teach my daughter that. Like whatever my daughter is when she's older, whether she's whatever, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? But I don't want anyone to influence her. I'd rather her just figure it out on her fucking own. An insecure man will want to fight a better looking man to level up. Is that you reckon? Oh, they get is that jealousy thing where they're threatened by him and they're like, oh well, maybe I don't have him in the looks department, but if I can kick his ass, well then I'll be looked at as the better protector. Aha, that is fair, man. I realized I was different when I was like, wow, that chick is hot, and so is that dude, but people around me didn't feel the same. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's different. Everyone's different. And that's fair. You know what I mean? I just don't believe it feels like there's all these record amounts of trans people now and record amounts of all this LGBT stuff because it's promoted so hardcore and it's fucking. And it's just why is that in school when you should be teaching them critical thinking, when you should be teaching them practical skills, when you should be teaching them how to read and write and how to actually hold their attention span for a little while because, they can't do it because of all the TikToks and all the shit that they're exposed to and the. Why don't you teach them how to function as an adult? Prepare them for the future. This is how we be sensible with money. This is how we you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Instead of just shit you're going to figure out all on your own through puberty and just getting older, and growing up as a teenager or whatever. You're going to figure it out. Yeah. Influence them one way or another, prepare them for life. Exactly. You know what I mean? Because social media, I don't even let my kids use that shit, And they say, oh, Dad, I need a phone. I need to get on. So all my friends are on there. I'm like, and look at all your friends. They're all depressed and they're all fucking all over the place and they're all trying to do the trends and they're all jealous and they're playing that game so early. It's listen, it's not even a real world online. You know what I mean? You know how easily influenced they are. Like I said, when you're older, make your own choices. But for right now, when your brain's still forming and I need to teach you how to think and I need to teach you not what to think, but how to think. Like I said, and I need you to be, at least I hope, you're going to end up half intelligent and the ability to discern things for yourself. And you can hate me now and you can thank me later. That's my favorite saying to say for the kids. Hate me now and thank me later. Once you're older and you're an adult, do what you want, But you're my responsibility while you're young, and I don't give a shit about peer pressure. If your friends do it and their parents let them do it, well, that's them. That's not my parenting. My parenting's different. I feed you. I still make sure you got stuff to do, that you're a fucking educator, that you're following your dreams. I'm teaching you this is how to be happy in life. And if you want to worry about fucking TikTok and all that shit, well, you can do that later. Don't give them technology. I only have one screen for the kids, and that's just the TV. Just so I see and hear. Yep. Exactly. Everyone should be entitled to you know what I mean. The parents do have a responsibility. I know life is hard. I know it's super busy. I understand the urge to sort of when they're fighting and you're already overworked to no end and everyone's stressed out. There is a temptation in just giving them a piece of technology to say, listen, just keep yourself occupied, all right? Just stay out of my hair for a bit, there's that urge. But if you do that, it has its fucking consequences. No tablets, no phones. Well, I'll try to keep them off tablets, I don't give them anything. How old? I'm 29, my friend. 29. But I was always different because I like to actually think. See, people didn't like that. They said, you got an attitude problem. We don't like your tone. I was like, get over it. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just telling the truth. Well, my truth at least, If I'm wrong, don't get me wrong. If someone shows me that I'm wrong, I will say it. I am wrong. I don't care. I don't have to win all the time. I don't have to be always right. I don't believe that, I believe that's a disease, to never admit fault. A young millennial. Is that what I am I? What's the millennial age group? Generally defined as anyone between 1981 and 1996. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know what that really even entails, being a millennial, I'm just me. I always said I was born the wrong generation. And I see how disconnected other kids are, and I refuse to make my kids like that. Yep, exactly. You need to do what you need to do with them. They need to read, write, play, and dance. See that? It's true. There will be a day when there are blackouts. I don't want them to go, oh, no, yeah, exactly. 100%. Oh, it's the end of the world. Oh, what am I going to do? Like, I know people that when they take it away from their kids, they get the shakes, bro. They get the shakes, the physical shakes, because it's like a drug to them. The constant dopamine hits, the constant fucking... I seem like a millennial. I don't even know what that means. I hope that just means I seem young. But, yeah, addiction. Yeah, addiction. Older man, we seem older. Oh, wow. That's good. I'd rather seem older than younger in certain ways, at least mentally, to a degree. You know, you got that middle ground. Because when you're young, you seem naive and stupid. When you're old, you seem closed-minded and fucking, you know, particularly stubborn. But then there's like a, I don't know. You just want to be, I don't know. I don't really even think about that sort of stuff to a degree. I think just be open-minded. You know, be willing to admit that you could be wrong. If I'm shown something, I'll go, huh, look at that. The kids are constant dope. Yep. Gen Z are very pro technology. Screen time, yep. Exactly. My kid's like, if I let him, you know, if I let him, holy fuck, he will be on it all the time. And I say, listen, mate, like, because of the kidney issue, I didn't realize the kidneys are like the filter to the entire body and how it affects everything. Like, he didn't really grow for 4 years, like, because his kidney didn't work. None of his hormones really work. So he's like, he's got like a global developmental delay. So his brain didn't really develop for the first 4 years. He didn't physically develop for the first 4 years. So we're like, he's catching up in that regard. Like, he only really started to grow and his mind started to develop. So I look at it like he may be 13, but he's really got the mind of a 9-year-old, and I'm trying to catch him up as much as possible. And so that can be hard for me when sometimes I look at him like, you know, you're 13 years old, you know, why are you doing that? And then it's like, oh, he's not really 13. Like, it's hard for me to fucking readjust that sometimes because he's got the attitude, he's got the hormones of a 13-year-old now. But he's got like a mind of someone he needs to catch up. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be tough. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get him up to standard, but I'm hoping it sort of kicks in late. Or, you know, it kicks in eventually, is what I meant. Like, better late than never. I had a few people go, I need to educate them in technology for life. Now in a degree they are right, but not now. They need to be kids. They have their lives for things like this. Exactly. And I believe they're losing their, like, look at them. They get social anxiety weird. Like, they'll talk online, but then when they're next to someone, you know, they're awkward as fuck. You get that. They're super awkward. Like I said, they've just got no real interpersonal skills, and when that is, it's all maybe it's just being a kid. All kids are weird, I guess, to a degree. Like, yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I just believe when they're young. How do I explain this? Like, I always figured out, because when I was depressed, I realized I put it to a few things. Like, and it came from watching a few people in particular, you know, and they, like Peterson, Jordan Peterson, he actually helped me big time. I don't give a shit what anyone says about him. That guy helped me with his psychology. Because he said, you need purpose, like the meaning of life. I essentially learned what the meaning of life is, because you think about that sometimes when you're young. What's the fucking meaning of life? What is this all? What's this all? Why the fuck are we here? That age-old question. And I figured that it really means, and it's sort of like Viktor Frankl, what he taught. You find purpose in life. You find something that gives you purpose and meaning. You find something like, we all like what we like. And if you can figure, and sometimes that's the hardest thing in life, is to find what the fuck you like. But when you find that thing, you can, and you're actually working towards it, and you're developing some form of meaning and purpose through that work and going towards those things that call out to you. That is what really the meaning of life is, like, because it gives you that purpose. You know what I mean? So like that's why I just can't stop doing what I'm doing, because like I've realized I'm like, these are the things I want to be: a dog trainer, and I want to be a driving instructor, and so I'm just gonna take these things to the highest level, and I'm just gonna fucking go. You know what I mean? Excuse my swearing. I swear a lot sometimes. You will do what is best for your son. I wouldn't be worried. Oh, there you go. That told me that you followed that time. It didn't tell me when the other lady followed. Didn't tell me when Rebecca followed. Thanks for the follow, mate. No, I appreciate that. You too with your kids. You sound like you've got, you're a parent, an actual parent who cares about what happens with them. Studies show new generation kids have lost grey matter in their brains. And isn't it the first, generation that they said has gotten less intelligent? Hey, Nutclapper, where did you say you were from again? You gotta get a flag now. And you followed. So pick a colour. And I can put you on the map. You got orange, black, white, red, yellow, green, blue. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Oh, you didn't say. No, that's why I can't remember. My brain was trying to fill in the gap. I'm from Alaska. Are you really from Alaska? You say, oi, mate. That's not something an Alaskan would say. Are you really from Alaska? What's this? As a kid, I was forced into isolation due to anaphylaxis, as I was the first in school, and also anaphylactics was pretty new and the school was scared. It then gave me anxiety later on. As all primary, I was isolated, then boom, talk to people. I was shy, as and difficult for me. Kids need to be with kids. You put a screen in between them, it's basically a wall. It will ruin them 100%. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. If you, no, what do I mean? I'm not gonna lie. No, I said that wrong. Where do you, wherever you want the flag to go, I'll put the flag there. It doesn't necessarily have to be. I don't know if I'm gonna get an answer, but I'll put it wherever you want. I can't put half a flag in Alaska and then the other half. Unfortunately, these don't tear in half, these little things. So yeah. In the middle of the Atlantic. Just in the halfway point. I was not raised as Alaskan, I was adopted. Would you like a flag? And if so, where would you like it? Give a country. Yeah, you got to tell me. If not, you'll let me know eventually. I'm a simple man. This is throwing me off. Nobody's ever thrown me curveballs like that when I've done this. The Big Dipper flag. What the fuck is that? Heard of that? Oh yeah, it kind of does look like that. A little bit. Kinda. Where would you like it? I don't have the space map. Just blindfold and pin the flag on a map. Benson flag. I need to know when people say things. What the fuck? It's popping up with some topless dude when you say that. Look up Benson flag. When I looked up Benson flag, yeah, this is what pops up. Ready? Oh, look at this. I don't have this flag. This flag doesn't exist. I don't have this. Is this what you're talking about? I'm sure some people would love to go to this place. Oh, there's got to be more to it. Oh, I got no idea. I'm thrown off now. Oh, is it actually that one? All right. So you wanted that with. Okay. I've never seen this flag in my whole life. Huh. I'm gonna put it in Alaska. You want it in Alaska? You did say Alaska, so whereabouts in Alaska? The north, the south, the middle, Vincent. It's the stars. Yeah, I could see the stars. Yeah, yeah, I could see that. Oh, it is the Dipper. Hmm. Interesting. I never knew that. Gotta get off that though. My wife will be confused. She'll be like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" Anyway, I see why James likes you. You know, he's got some good people. How is James? Has he been good? He just found me doing this challenge, and he stops in once in a while. All right, Alaska it is, and I'll find a way to imprint the Benson flag. I've got to get on Canva, and you can make whatever you want on Canva, merchandise wise and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll do that. All right. Have you got a color for me, at least, bro? We'll do blue because blue's the closest to the flag you like. We'll do that. Don't know if I should get that little. I wonder if I can. I'm gonna look that up. Can I make a custom flag? Custom mini flag. How do I do that? Pin. Huh? Look at that. AliExpress. Can I design it myself? Design your own one. No, I'm thinking I'll just put that picture of that dude with his shirt off. You a-hole, desecrate my flag with the what you saw. Listen, I looked up Benson flag, and that's just what pops up. That's just I don't make it up. If I look it up and I go like this, and I'll just pick one, you know what I mean? I think it'd be great. Maybe I should do that. I gotta write that down. Otherwise, I'll forget. Wonder if I can order that. No shit. Benson flag. Interesting. That's what she said. Picture what you said with his shirt off. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know why that pops up. I don't know why. I don't know who that Benson guy is. You know. Honestly, Benson's not a typical name. Benson is what my dad calls his sheepdog. Benson. Then the dog before that was Hudson. Is that the singer? I don't know. Is he a singer? Benson Boone, is it? American singer-songwriter. Oh, it does look like that guy. But I don't know who the fuck that is. He died from alcoholism. Did he really? That says is. Benson Boone. Oh, you just taking the piss. You fucking got me. Fucking hell. This guy. There's good songs. You may know one, Beautiful Things. Uh, maybe. I don't know. I'm getting old, man. I've been doing all this work, and I can't have the radio on when I'm working, really, because it distracts the kids. Not until they're like getting ready for their tests, and then I turn the radio up. I'm like, you got to get used to distractions. When really it's just to put something in the air, in the atmosphere, because it's just like you get sick of just hearing like your own voice, and some of them are very quiet, extremely quiet. I had one girl, like all she said, I thought I pissed her off, or she didn't like me, because all she would say is, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, have I annoyed you or something? And she's like, no. She just gave one word answers. That's it. And I think she leveled up to saying like, she would go to like, I'm like, you got to give me at least 3 words in a sentence. She's like, I don't know. That's what she'd say to me. But no, but she insists I did a good job. But she just didn't like to talk. She was a very quiet girl. Don't say that. No, we're old in our soul. You know what I mean? It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's good. We want to look young here, but we want to be old-ish up here. We want to be wise beyond our years. That's all we want. We want to be, you know, mature, as they say. My last commercial fishing captain was 75 years old with a foreign Asian. With that, never came to Alaska, America. My last commercial fishing captain, what the fuck's a fishing captain, was 75 years old with a foreign Asian. Did you just work on the boats or something? Fishing captain? I worked on a boat. He never called himself a captain, though. Wasn't a proper boat. Then again, he wasn't a pirate. But dead inside, or old and wise, yeah, that. Was he white? I don't know what it is about Asians and white people. You know? I don't know. It's beyond me. I just don't know. Certain people are just attracted to one another. Because when my wife's like, why do you want to go to Japan? And I was like, you know why? I want to go see sumo wrestling up close. Doskoi! Where they fucking slam into each other. I think that'd be awesome. I've been watching some sumo wrestling. I was like, holy shit, this is actually an art form. He wasn't a pirate. Yeah. Yeah, clip it. Clip it, yeah. I've got a thing that does clips. I could pay a lot of money too for that shit. I should use it more often. Yeah. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do all this and this, and then I get so fucking busy I forget. She'd be like, I bet it's for the sumo, for the girls and hentai. I bet it's for the girls and hentai. You sumo. Yeah, yeah. I love the sumo wrestling's hilarious. I was like, this is great. And you got to go around this time of the year too. I know they got their sumo tournaments because it keeps popping up on my YouTube recommended for you. I'm like, fuck yeah, this is recommended for me. I love this shit. And yeah, what's that old meme? It's like when your wife's looking through your phone and all she can find is like sumo wrestling, it's fucking bodybuilding, shit like that. Because I go to the gym a lot, and so like it's always popping up on my fucking phone. You just like one photo or video, or comment on one thing with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, and it just fucking floods your feed. I tell you. I'm sick of people at the gym telling me what to do. They're like, you know, you should really do this and you should really do that. You got to go slow and then go up fast. You got to go slow and then slow. Sometimes you go fast and then slow. Everyone just keeps giving me all sorts of fucking shit, mate. What do you mean? Noise. Noise. But yeah, and I said, listen, this is how I work out, right? I watched Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he just the way he just pumps the shit out of the weight. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do, and it works. What would you know? I'll admit I've lost a fair bit of mass because there was some guy on the stream, and he called me a fat cunt, and I said, you know what, just for you, mate. I am gonna get a six pack. I'm gonna get shredded. I'm day 50 out of the 90-day challenge. I said, give me 90 days, yeah, and I'll have one. And so I've already lost the fuck. How much weight have I lost already? Since I started that, I think I've nearly lost like. What was I? I think I was only 85 when that started, and I'm nearly about 80 now. I was sitting around 94 for a little bit, but what's that? So I've only lost about 5 kilos at the moment. But and I said I'm gonna put a little overlay. It's gonna be a picture of like me shredded. Fucking shredded doing the Ronaldo pose, and that's gonna be in the corner, and it's gonna say "fuck you, Braden." That's what it's gonna say, and I'm gonna leave it up there for 90 days, just because I'm that sort of guy. Boy, how long you stream? Usually I'd go till about 12, 1, around there, 11, 12. But sometimes more, sometimes less. As long as I get the reading and writing done. And I'll be happy. If it gets to a point, I do sort of like zone out and completely lock in, and I'm like, sorry if I ignore you guys, but I just gotta get it done. I've already done my reading though, so. Oi, I like the way you say oi. Yum, wait, I'm dating and you married. Yeah, no, well, this is the thing. I waited 14 years. Because I've been with her since we were 14, we've been together. And then I married her last year when we were 28. 28, yeah. That's what I said. I had to wait 14 years to make sure she was the one. Because you can never be sure. You can just never be sure. I had to thoroughly audit her. Well, this is really what it was. Well, it's kind of a long story. First, I was like, I don't really think marriage is a big deal. Like, if you're with someone, you're with someone. You know what I mean? I was just like, what's like, who gives a shit? Like, I was like, I don't want to dress up and do all that sort of thing. And then there was a mixture of things. It was more for her, to be honest, because I know like getting married is like a very big deal to women. Spitfire, like you spit knowledge. Spitfire. What do you mean? Like blah 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 blah. I can talk really quick. I can do the old Ben Shapiro, but with it was for her. And then I thought, you know what, we'll get married. I said, why not? We've been engaged forever. You know, because I gave her that. I was like, because she wanted a ring, and I said, oh, you know what? Yeah, you want to get engaged? You want to marry me? But this time I actually took it seriously because I didn't plan on getting married. And then it was the vicar, because I was doing something trying to learn about the Bible, and I said, you know what, I'm going to get married. It was going to be this year I was going to get married, and so I didn't really have much money at the time. And I was like, I wanted to save a bit, you know what I mean, so we could get married, like and have like a decent like kind of wedding. And he's like, why don't you get married this year? This is what he said last year. I said, I just told you I want to do it in 2 years, not this year. Like I want to do it next year, which would be this year back then. And he's like, no, but why don't you do it this year? And I was like, are you deaf, mate? Like I just said, I'm doing it next year. And he's like, yeah, but why don't you do it this year? And I was like, and it worked. He did some mental Jedi mind trick shit. And sure enough, I was walking home and I was like, oh yeah, why don't I just do it this year? You know what I mean? I was like, why don't I just get it done? You know, who gives a shit? Like, you know, she was happy. We had a great time. So instead of like staying somewhere far away for a honeymoon and wasting so much money on like suites and apartments and stuff, I said, we can use that. We'll go to the casino. We'll go fucking ice skating. We'll do shit. We'll do axe throwing. We'll play some darts. We'll just go have fun. We'll go to comedy shows. We'll just do a whole shit ton of activities. But yeah, it is for women, a lot of it. But in the end, you know, it was good. It was a good day. It was nice and it was small. I said, let's not spend too much money on the reception itself. Like, make sure you got your cake and you know, we just did it in like a local hall, and you know, pretty cheap. I didn't want to spend $10,000, $20,000 on the actual wedding itself for what, like 3-4 hours, 5 hours, and then you're out of there. Give me a break. It was like, no, 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 no. With that money, we can go have some fun, some serious fun. That sounds nice. Yeah, it was pretty good, you know. She's always been and she deserves it, you know. She dealt with me when I was at my worst, you know, when I was a real pain in the ass. When I was super pessimistic and negative, like, you know, when someone's so depressed, it's kind of funny. Like, because it's just like an overreaction to everything, you know. It's like, oh, what's the point of waking up? It's like, because you got to do this. Oh, but what's the point, you know? Like, you're just overly miserable. Married with children, how is it? Nah, it's good. It's good. Like, don't get me wrong, it gets hard sometimes, but life is hard anyway, kids or not. It's what you make of it, you know. And I can either choose to go, oh my god, it's hard with kids, you know, it'd be easy. But no, I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't take it back. I don't give a shit. Like, because everyone was surprised when I stuck around, like, when I had my son when I was young. They're like, oh, you actually stuck around. And I was like, is this a big deal or something? Like, isn't there something you're supposed to do? Like, you have a child, you're supposed to rear it and raise it. Is that what you not do? But I was like, no, he's my son. Of course I'm going to be there. It was just my... A lot of people aren't like that. I'll admit, I'm not black, so I never had the instinct to sort of just, like, leave. Whatever it is. Or, like, a lot of people do. They just want to leave. Or, you know, I was never, like, going to jail or whatever. So, like a few people I know in the area. But, yeah. Harpy the Hound, what's going on? How are you? Are you having a great time? Are you having fun? Where are you from, Harpy? Where are you from? This is how it works. See, there's a big map behind me, and because you followed me, you pick a color flag, and then I put the flag on the map wherever you are in the world. My ex is like not really there anymore. He left when my son was 1. Sorry, sometimes I say things and I don't realize how like there's a certain lack of self-awareness sometimes when I say certain things around certain people. Like, I was talking, like I did it earlier today. It was pretty bad, actually. I was at the gym and writing my book. I'm Mississippi Purple. Ooh, cool. What are you writing? But this guy, and what he did was, he I was explaining how you can sort of tell, because we were talking about this guy at the gym. I call him the buff Bruce Lee because he's just like a little smaller Asian fella, but he's super ripped and he's just the best guy. He's just a wonderful man. Chris is his name. He's a good guy at the gym. He's been doing it consistently for years, and a lot of people assume he's on steroids when he really prides himself on not doing steroids, and he's just been doing it forever. But and the guy I was talking to was like, you know, I really thought he was on steroids. And I was like, nah, you can tell because like he can't grow facial hair, and he's kind of like me. He can't grow facial hair probably. I could only grow a little bit, but he has a nice head of hair. And I said, and that's how you know, because when you take steroids, all this hair falls out, and you can grow a really nice beard. And then I'm looking at him, and then he was like, you can obviously guess he was bald, and he didn't take too kindly to it. And he's like, no, what does that mean? Like, your hair falls out and that. I was like, it's just a sign of, like, having a lot of testosterone. You know what I mean? Like, when you got heaps and heaps of testosterone, your hair falls out. That's why when you take steroids, your hair falls out and you grow a great big beard. And he was disagreeing with me. And I looked at him and I said, maybe you were the wrong person to say it to because, you know, well, you know. Alrighty, before I forget this thing. All right, Mississippi. Mississippi. Oh, settle down. Didn't mean to wake you. What do you mean? Mississippi. There we go. Dark fantasy, shifter romance. What's shifter? Like your poster, I got a glowing twisting globe. I brought an Amazon Voxulia 12-inch illuminated globe. Nice. Yeah, I got this. It's like a tapestry thing. It's just some massive tapestry. That way I could stab holes in it. No, please no, I am not getting hurt by you if you thought that. Seeing healthy couples actually is giving me a wake-up call, you know? My history in dating has been overly toxic. That I am in a healthy one, it feels weird. Yeah, true. I suppose. I can't really relate. But it seems it's a common thing I hear. Alaska. Yeah, I'm getting you, and I'm gonna get that little custom Benson one. You want that one, or would you like? Have you got another color in mind? But with couples that are, yeah, you just gotta not give up. You know what I mean? You gotta not give up. But again, I don't really act like some fucking love guru, like, or dating guru, because well, you know, I'm not by any means. Shapeshifter. Yes, but not just wolves. Ah, that's what you mean. You know, I read an erotic thing on the stream once for my reading. It was called The Avocado. And it was about this it was a full-blown explicit erotica. That was an interesting yeah, it was just AI smut. That's what it was. So I thought that would be funny. But not just wolves. Vampires too. What other shape-shifting are we doing? It sounds good though. I like anyone who, like, you know, like, I appreciate anyone who puts in the effort to write or read or anything like that. Yeah, AI slop. That's what it was. It was pretty dirty because the only one that would write it filthily, because I didn't want to jailbreak the others. Yeah, AI slop. Yeah, smut, slop, smut. But that was actually pretty hard to read on the stream. It was difficult. It was getting real fucked up. Because I've never read an erotica. I didn't realize how filthy those fucking things get, you know? They get really dirty. Then they made class shifters as body swappers too. Interesting. Are you having fun writing it? Have you been writing it for very long? I don't want to keep interrupting you with your writing though. At the same time, you know. At the moment, I'm just writing a book on driving, because I'm trying to double it up as like an educational resource and a handbook that's like going to act as almost a form of a textbook for my course that I want to do. Wolves, foxes, rats, dragons, stag, peacocks, and more. Holy mackerel. Sorry, I don't understand your enriched culturally accent. I don't know if you're talking to me. You can't understand. I got these stupid aligners put in to try to straighten my teeth out. So it's affecting my speech a little bit. I've got to put in today. It's really annoying me. So I can't read the old English without getting a full-blown lisp. Almost a year, yeah. Works of art take their time, you know. Rome wasn't built in a day. So you're from Mississippi. That's very interesting. The only people I've had from America were from California so far. And they were writers too, funnily enough. Series for 10 years and I've only just finished one book. That's right, a slow burner. What's your clip clapping around about now? What are you talking about? You talking about my typing? What in the world are you talking about, mate? Yeah. ASMR. Oh, yeah, I can do ASMR. I suppose so. No, I don't know. I've never really thought about doing ASMR. My shifter has big ass ancestry. What is? They have fated mates and can contract with a companion, which allows them access to their shifting powers. And their, hold on, I'm confused now. Oh, keyboard clapping. This keyboard's pretty loud. Univore Magic Systems. These companions have been searching for the shifter they are meant to contract with. Ah. Huh. Interesting. Did you sort of come up with it, like flesh out an idea, or did you just start, like, you have a rough idea and you just got into it and started, seeing where things went? Or did you have like a detailed plan, like where you know where you want it to end and stuff like that? Keyboard warrior clapping. Is that what you call that? Ah. Well, I don't really talk shit to people online, not anymore. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll rage bait certain groups. Just for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it. But I haven't done that in a good 3-4 months now. So, a very finding your other half vibe. Interesting. I'm a sprinter mixed with a plotter. Okay. No shiznits. No, I'm telling you, yeah, I was writing. Sometimes I get into it, like a whole bunch of stuff just comes into my brain. I did, and you write so quick. Sometimes you gotta bash the space bar, and it makes that horrible noise. So I'll do an example. I'll delete that though, because that was just me writing a whole bunch of nonsense there. That's good. I just finished the book, Halfy. It was... No, it's not really a book. It's just my philosophy and thoughts on things, and it's like part journal, yeah, part for my philosophy. A lot of rambling, a lot of weird shit, to be honest. It just goes all over the place. It's called literally The Ramblings of the Magnificent One. I just gotta edit it, and then I'll release that. It's just a joke of a book, but the first book I'm working on is about Levi finding out he's a shifter after living among humans all his life. Interesting. How does he figure it out? Like, he's a shifter after living among humans. So he just sort of like, did he just randomly shift? Was it an emotional thing that sets it off? I'm a bit curious. My brain's trying to fill in the gaps now. What's this? Are you a Libra? A Libra? You talking about like what is it? The astrology thing. His companion finds him and leads him to Shiftera, a city of shifters. If you want, I have a blurb. Oh yeah? Where is the blurb? Some say I blurb a little bit. Some say, Mitchell, would you just shut up? You're just blah 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 blah. I do that too. We'll exchange book covers. I'll show you mine, yeah? This doesn't sound good, but I'll show you mine if you show me yours, alright? Where is it? There we go. Look at that thing. Look at this. Yes, your birth date. I am an Aquarius. I'm the goat. I am Capricorn. That's what I am. I'm a goat. An Aquarius. I remember that. My sister said she was an Aquarius. I said, ha, you swim around in your own piss. She didn't like that. She got very upset. In shadowed alleys, a homeless stray named Levi followed a glowing wolf into myth, into Shiftera, where ancient gods stalk moonlit streets, and the feral god Venteron stirs beneath cracked seals of blood and stone. Crowned in ritual moonlight, Levi awakens the beast. Solera descends, whispering of balance paid in flesh, one arm, one merciless choice. Well, there you go. Newly mated with veins burning with... Whoa! Hold on, mated, I was thinking of something else. Newly mated with veins burning, see, I was thinking of something else. With 7 warring currents, Levi clings to a fracturing city as hunters prowl. Cultists chant, and Venteron's whispers devour the dark. Some crowns are worn, some are paid for in shattered pieces. Will the new shifter king hold back the rising hunger, or will the old one consume everything he's begun to love? That's actually pretty interesting. I like that. That's good. There is 3 for each house. What date exactly? Why do you want that? That's what scammers ask me. We just need your birth date, sir. It's the... Alright. Alright. 1 for each house. I'm the 27th. 2 days after Christmas. And I got that because, well, because that's just what when my parents got it on. And there is those that were born on the cusp. The cusp. And your social security. Yeah, you want some of that? Yeah. Luckily, we don't have that. Just got, what do we have in Australia? No, I'm going good, mate. I'm going good. See, I'll show you my, this is going to be my book cover. Oh, my Discord. Where is it? Oh, fuck. I gotta remember how this works. How do I... Invite to server. Yeah, why not? There you go. Nah, I've got like 9 minutes left, and then I'm just doing my writing phase. Thought I'd shoot the shit a little bit, and then I'll be crashing out and going to bed. I gotta get up. I got work early in the morning. There it is. This is the one, the magnificent one. Yeah, we don't have social security. We don't have any social, and we don't have any security. How you been, mate? You still been kicking ass on the Phasmo? A monolithic stance. What does that mean? We don't have an education system in Australia, so I don't know what that means. Refers to a perspective, organizational policy that is rigidly uniform, unified, and resistant to change. Oh, that doesn't sound like me. The week of balanced strength. Right, interesting. Nice. Yeah, anyone can join. As long as you're not some like OnlyFans lady trying to sell me fucking pictures of your bumhole, then you can join. You know. Had that one time. She's like, "What's your Discord?" And some guy just randomly gave it to her, and I said, "You don't do that. All right. Better leave then." Here, I'll show you. This one. My subscriber, like, he was the first guy to subscribe to me, right? And he you have a pen name. Interesting. I think mine will be Foreskins. That's what I'll call my guy. But this is going to be like he said he made something for me, and it's going to be the cover of my book. See, it's this. This is literally going to be the cover. It'll say The Ramblings of the Magnificent One, but this is going to be the cover. And that's because this is how serious I take my writing. Looking up romance connections. Oh, wow. I've got an OnlyFans, but yeah. There's nothing on it. It was just going to be me reading with that, because I think people like feet. So I was just going to expose 2 toes. I was going to wear my socks that have the holes in them. So yeah. Ooh, we got a nice cover here. Danny Vale, the new Shifter King. See, that's an actual proper cover. I like that. That's interesting. Danny Vale. So that's your book name. Interesting. That actually looks good though. I do like that. Oh, I hope it sells a few copies. What's this? Sorry. Just wear pants and go. My boxes also have holes. Yeah, I'm starting to look like that meme. You know that bloody meme that pops up where you're like, "Oh, don't worry, boys. Christmas is just around the corner." And it's like tattered jocks and tattered underwear and socks. My wife's always yelling at me, "Why don't you get new ones?" And I was like, "Because these ones are good, you know. Until everything just completely falls out, it'll be all right." Called The Week of the Ruler, Capricorn 2. What's that? My pen name is Danny Vale. Oh, okay. That's who made it. Yep. No, your friend made this. Your pen name is Danny Vale, yeah. Capricorn 1. Capricorn's such a weird thing, isn't it? Capricorn. What does that even mean? That's good. So we both had a friend who made our covers for us. It was very interesting. I like people that actually write real books though, so I'm happy for you. I really am. I actually want people to succeed. I'm one of those rare people that actually likes people succeeding. I'm not like, "Oh no, you're competition." Anyone who writes a book is pretty good. December 26th to January the 2nd. Are you an astrologer, mate? My mum used to do that. She used to bring out the tarot cards and she would talk to the rune stones, and she paid some lady $150, right? And it was some recording to tell her all about her life and everything like that. And then I listened to it, and it wasn't even directed at mum. It was some pre-recorded message that could clearly be sent. There wasn't a she or a he mentioned in it. There wasn't her name mentioned in it. I said, this could be directed to fucking anyone. When I hear Capricorn, I think candy corn. True. An agent. Holy shit, you're getting seriously. Wow. Holy mackerel. It's pretty good. I hope you succeed with it. I really do. Anyone who puts a lot of effort into it, you want them to do well. That's good. How do you go about that? Getting an agent? To be honest, I was just going to go on like self-publish it. I was gonna order like 10 hard copies, just so I could like give them out here and there. You know what I mean? Just for a laugh, to have it sitting in the background, like just some, um, what do you call it? It's almost like a, what is the word I'm looking for? It's like a parody almost in my book. But and then yeah, the rest will just be on Kindle or something. A beta reader, you got to volunteer. Oh, look at that. Strengths: capable, hardworking, and concerned. Oh. I'm not very concerned, bro. Capable, hardworking. Yeah, once I got off the alcohol and the being stoned 24/7. I suppose I could send through a copy. You know what I mean? Once it's all done. You're probably not gonna like it. It's not a real book. I'm working on chapters 36, 37 of draft 2. Nice. Getting there. Getting there. How many pages are you looking at? You want to know your alleged weaknesses? I swear, you know what I did? I pumped through my entire book, because it's essentially just me. And I put it through all the AIs. And I said, give me all my strengths. Give me all my weaknesses. Tell me what I could use to my advantage, and what I must like look out for. Like, all that sort of thing, like a SWOT analysis. I said, don't be a sycophant and kiss my ass. Just tell me the brutal truth. And I got a lot of insight out of that. Dogmatic, bottled up, tyrannical. Wow. Bottled up. I don't know. I want to say something, but I shouldn't say it. The week of the ruler. What are you reading? Are you reading the newspaper right now or something? I know my weaknesses. I have too many ideas and I spread myself too thin. So I've had to learn to be. I've got about 40 simultaneous goals. That's what it is. And then I've diluted it. Like I said, I'm trying to do dog training. I'm trying to be a driving instructor. I'm trying to be a specialized driving instructor. I'm trying to write 2 books literally at the same time, side by side, after I've just like finished one up, and I've still got to do the draft on that and release that. I've got to get this 6-pack because that guy called me a fat cunt. I've got to lose the weight because that way I can lower my heart rate, and that way I can lower my blood pressure. And if I lower my blood pressure, I can finally get off this medication I've been on for like over a decade. About 15 years I've been on these meds. So I want to get off that. Like I said, I've got to finish this Bible, because this Bible's been on my reading list forever, and it's just taken like nearly a year to finish. I got that. I just got so much. It just goes on and on, eh? I better stop now. But in the end, I've got to prioritize it. And then I've got to put my top priorities, and then hone in on them, and then the rest can come after that. And yeah. The secret language of relationships. I don't know, I'm not really good at that. By Gary Goldschneider. Interesting. Is that your main, like, do you have what's everyone's favorite genre here when it comes to reading? Is it all fantasy? Is it like the self-help stuff? Is it the horror? There you go, horror. Yep. Horror movie's good. Horror genre's good. Plato and comics. So my son, I do reading. He pulls out the manga. Like, One Piece isn't really reading, if you ask me. But well done, a King James version, yeah. Oh, mate. This huge, chunky, meaty book. Halfy. I don't know what yours is. I'm guessing it's the fantasy stuff. I have 433 pages. Holy mackerel. That's a lot of pages. 57,251 words. Is that a lot of words? How does that work? Well, I don't know if that's a big book. It seems big, 433 pages. Holy mackerel. What the hell was my book? I think I stopped at 200 pages, but I'm pretty sure I made a major mistake. Because, there's 200 pages, right? But there's like 107,000 words. I don't think that's right. Luckily, I use lots of little words because I'm a simple man. 57k words. 433 seems like a big book. Must be computer to know how much you were typing. Yeah, it tells you on Word. It just tells you. Not really. Ah, you're just taking a joke again. That's right. Some books start the text an inch or so from the edge and it's bigger that way, especially. True. Yeah, well, my text is remarkably small. What is this? By subgenre. Okay. Demographic, epic, high fantasy. 150,000 plus words. Adult general fantasy, 90 to 120,000. Urban fantasy, 80 to 100. Romantic, romantasy, 90 to 110. Young adult, 60 to 85. Interesting. I never knew that. But yeah, it's also, yeah, like they were saying, like you were saying, how far off the page you start and font size and that sort of thing as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably going to be a disaster when I release mine. But either way, I tried. All that matters is we tried. That's why we go by words, not pages. True. True? Yeah. Shush. I'll try. I know. What do you think I had to do in my resume? What? You had to falsify it. You were doubting your work, how dare you? No, there's just more of an indifference, I think. I just assume it will fail because it's just a fucking flaming piece of garbage. It's not a real book. Small font. Like, yeah, you'll realize you'll read it. Like, if we stick around here and there, and you pop in once in a while, like I'm hoping I'll have that all wrapped up within a few months, like the editing and all the release of it, and then I'll send you it, and you can tell me what you think. I want to send it to critics, because is that what you can do? Can you send your book to critics, like to You got trouble for it. 2 pages long. Wow. Send it into competitions. You should, just for a laugh. This is my first draft. Pages 286, words 60,236. Nice. Nice. That's what we like. Interesting. We may have to get James to read it, or how do I do shout out? I haven't figured out how to shout out. But there's another guy, P.W. James, and he's a great guy. He reads stuff too. So I sometimes I read it, but I've really got to smash through the Bible. And the only other time I do reading is because I read the Bible, right? And then 50 chapters, that seems like a bit. But then, and I've got like the Odyssey, you know, like the Iliad and the Odyssey. And the only other time and I read that one because I do some in the bathtub. I do readings in the bathtub. Sometimes people like that, some people do not. See, P.W. James. Pretty sure that's him, yeah. Hold on, did I fuck that up? Yeah, P.W. James. Read it, preach it, the Bible. But yeah, I do it in the bathtub, and people like that. Because like certain people, I gave them little ducks and stuff like that. There's like a little duck that sits on my shoulder when I'm reading in the bath. You know, I got the bubble bath. You have to have it very bubbly. I hope one day I can get so many ducks I don't need bubbles anymore. Because it's a very risque sort of stream, those ones. Haven't done that in a while, actually. But yeah, I think the last time I read in the bath, I was reading Machiavelli, The Prince. Yeah, I noticed that all the writers, yeah, we seem to sort of stick together, you know. It's very good. It's good. The writing community it's great. Most people are very, I don't know, it's hard to explain. People are very I don't know, nice, I suppose is the word. I know, I haven't really met a writer who's like just a complete arsehole. Not on here. Yun, which led to Duncan, to PW, now to you. Yep. Life is strange, isn't it? I wish I had more people to go to after, but I'm still sort of new. Haven't made that many connections yet. So this streaming stuff's more a form of like public accountability anyway. Just for the 1,000-day challenge. You've only been on for 2 months. Oh wow. Holy shit, you have been on less than me. Holy mackerel. I never read it, just skimmed it. The Bible, yeah, just gonna skim through it, just give a speed read. I don't know, I kind of feel wrong if I was to read the Bible in the bath. And it's pretty heavy to hold, you know, it's very awkward, you know. Because usually the book's small, you know, you can sort of handle it. But this thing, trying to read it like that, it's just ginormous thing. Well, you like this, yeah. Especially then you get your risk of getting dropped in the bath, and then my little ducks that I have with me, you know. So yeah, it's awkward. Spoiler alert, he dies, but he lives, then he leaves. Yep. Well, the Bible is a very hard read. Some of it's hard. I should have got a better version, but because I felt obligated to read this one because it was given to me by my wife's grandma. Like I just got the little red one, the pew one from the Bible. I mean from the church, and then she gave me this, and I was like, you know what? I like this one a lot better because it's got the Last Supper on it, and I got a soft spot for Da Vinci and his art. I do. I like the Last Supper. I want to get a painting of that. I was going to put it above the bed or something, or out in the lounge room under the old clock. Something about it. It calls to me. Nice Bible. Yeah, it's pretty good. And I always wanted to say that I read it. Only a few more months, I think, and I should be done. And then we can get back to what someone else had a book they wanted me to read. Got to finish the Iliad and the Odyssey. Got to read some more of The Art of War. I've got to do that. Sun Tzu. I've got the book. Dracula, maybe. I got a fair reading list. So, it's nice, yeah, mate. That's right. That's how we say it over here. I don't know. I reckon the cover of what is it? The cover of Harvey is pretty good as well. I like that. Your friend did a good job on that. I didn't show him the cover. I did show the cover. Like it hasn't. I haven't fully finished the cover, but it was that. Like literally, this is going to be like the main image. Oh, your cover. So sorry. Oops. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Sorry about that. This one, guys. Look at this. There's a proper cover. Look at that. See that? That's good. Like I said, your friend did very, very well. You see the runes on the floor. The runes. I'm looking close. No, oh, the runes on the door, is it? Oh, there. Okay, I didn't even see that. Yo, what's going on, Toxic? What's going on, bro? Look at that. We're looking at a there's a new chatter, and they showed me their book cover. Very interesting. I'm so sorry I didn't share that earlier. I apologize for that. Been a bit, how am I doing? Yeah, I'm going alright, mate. Stick it strong. Keeping ultra busy. You know how it is. Work, work, work. Study, study, study. Stream, stream, stream. Gym, gym, gym. I'm just on repeat. Everything has got the momentum necessary in order to reach all my vision that I'm looking to achieve. It's all slowly coming in and shaping and shaping and shaping more and more and more till it's all going to be in front of me. I'll have that $10 million in the bank before I know it. It's good. These are for the future books I plan. Oh, you got more, do you? You let me know. Oh, those are for the future books. Okay. What about you? What have you been up to? It's in Brooklyn 9-9, is it? 7 and 8 planned. 7 to 8 planned, but not 6 to 7, yeah? But like today, what do we got? We're up to 6-9. 6 to 9 planned. Sorry, that wasn't even funny. Sorry about that. So yeah, busy. Everyone seems pretty busy. Dry humor. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. My kids don't like it. My daughter, she acts unimpressed. Very unimpressed. Yeah, man, gotta go. Thank you for the stream. Love getting to know you. Don't stay up too late, eh? Yeah, true. I'm gonna have to smash out these 5 minutes. I always say that to my missus. Just give me 2 minutes. That's all I need. I can get a lot done in 2 minutes. Sorry, there it is again. There's that poor humor again. Anyway, you stay magnificent, my friend. And yeah, thanks for coming by. I appreciate that. Tell James, thank you. You know, for the raid always. It was good. It's still good. Oh, I'm glad you appreciate it. They are representing the 6 sealing stones, 1 for each book for the middle and for a final book, the big end clash. Nice. So look at that. You've got a vision. Oi. Yeah, you see Toxic? Did you see Toxic? He was just on here. He's the one who called me a fat cunt. Can you believe it? He's a good guy, though. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. It's all in jest, you know. 6 sealing stones there. So it's going to lead one to the other. So it looks like you've got some grand vision for your book, though, which is very impressive. It's not easy to do that. It's not easy to world build and make it all come together. Boy, he's mad. Who's mad? That's nothing. I've been called a fur. Oh, can I say that? Well, I had to reel myself in then. What the hell is that? A fur? You know. Combining furry and a slur. Hey. Ah, yes. Agfey. Fur Agfey. Okay, that's how you say it. Right. Well, that makes the Nazi thing seem not so bad. You been playing any good games, Toxic? People could just be real nasty sometimes. True, I've never been called that. I'll admit that. I've never been called what that is. I really know how to say it properly. I'm getting away from it. That's what she said. Not so bad. Yeah, it could be better. I've heard that too. I haven't been on G. Yeah, what are you jamming? Not a great deal. Jamming. Marmalade. That's what I've been jamming. Nah, I've just been doing I played a bit of poker, a bit of Phasmo still. I've got some new game I'm trying to figure out. Lord Manners. It seems fun. Yeah, it could be better. Yeah. What is it? I haven't really done Overwatch in a while. It's just been a bit of a mix. I've been like getting fucking like I've had a lot of really early jobs that are taking me like towards the city. So I've had to get up super early Do you have an Xbox Pass or not? No, I haven't had one of them in years, man. I got the old. I didn't even put the Xbox away. I felt sad. I felt like it was almost like a funeral putting it in the box and putting it up on the thing. It's so slow. I gotta get a new one. I'm not sure if I got a free pass. I'll have to check that out. Huh. Interesting. Boy, that's what she said. I get lots of pew pew threats from anti-furs too. What's a pew pew threat? Like guns? High on Life. Like, I've played that. Yeah, that's the people who made Rick and Morty. Yeah, that's a fucking fun game. And then there's High on Knife, isn't there? Oh yeah, it's a funny game. It could be better. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, it's true. She did say that one time. Yeah, it's not good when they say that. It's not good. Like, it'll be better next time. I promise. I promise, darling. It'll be a lot better. I'll try extra hard. I won't be in such a rush. I won't be so selfish. Sorry, TMI there. Sorry. US natives are the Alaska. Say that as a term of endearment. What's this? I sent the doc for my first 35 chapters. It will be updated every time as I write. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Keep on. Sometimes you'll go over it and be like, maybe I should change this or do that. AK. The pew pew is how that is. But also get twisted and viewers at insult. Natives in. Clip clap. Clip clap, clippity clap. Clappity clap. I feel like I'm reading the sound effects from a comic book page. Clappity clap, pow, ping pong. Why typing? What? What do you mean why typing? I'm writing a book. What do you mean, bro? Oh, yeah, I can write that. Oh, you can write a lot of shit without even trying. Holy mackerel. What? Are you mad? No, it takes a lot to piss me off, to be honest. I'm usually a very calm guy. I'm not really mad. Nuh-uh. My accent. You know, I've had this many times. I should not let my ADHD and autism force me to stare. I should go and eat something. You should go and eat something. You gotta take care of yourself. So if you need to go eat, listen, my accent, people have asked me, oh, are you from New Zealand? Where are you from? And I say, Australia. And they say, no, but where are you from? I was like, what do you mean? Australia, I was born here. Yeah, but where are your parents from? I'm like, Australia. And they're like, no, but your accent, you sound British or you sound, New Zealand. I was like, I don't know what you're on about. I don't know. Yeah, sometimes I gotta clip clap around the keyboard, yeah. Oh. Wrong button. You just... What is this? What is this? That sounds more Australian. I don't know what they were saying. Yeah, exactly. Hey, bro, you shag sheep. No, I'm not from New Zealand, bro. You look like that Aussie guy from Nat Geo. What? Nat Geo. Steve Irwin. Oh, I wish, mate. I wish I looked like Steve Irwin, mate. As long as it's Steve and not Bob. I don't like Bob. I was born in Cali, live in Mississippi. Nice. Moved out of Cali. What was the taxes are pretty high in California, I heard. I wouldn't want to be paying taxes there. Maybe we should do that on a stream one day. We'll go down. We'll not go down. We'll go up to Queensland where they have the crocodiles. And we'll go wrestle a crocodile. You need to try Fortnite. Why? A mix of Cali and Southern accent. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that'd be a good little mix. Americans have a very wide range. I was listening to that song the other day. She's from Texas, I can tell. Whatever it is, you know. Or he's from Texas, so. No, she's from. I don't know. Fucking hell. You know the song. It's a laugh and you will be dog shit. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not going to stay away from it. Stingrays are scary. Oh, I don't say that about our national. He's like Australian of the century, that guy. I don't think there's a better Australian than Steve Irwin. He's probably the greatest, Australian who ever lived. Yeah, I saw a few. When I go prawning, there's a few stingrays. When you go to catch prawns, but luckily they're only you only go up to like knee height, waist height, so they can only stab you in the asshole at the worst. If I'm going to play Fortnite, I'm going to play Save the World, the OG Fortnite. See, Toxic wants me to play games because he knows how terrible I am at playing them. He's very aware. Fuck you, bro. Gonna use me as bait. I'll use you as bait. It's because you got the meat. I've actually got something on me, mate. That's what it is, though. Something actually there. Chomp on. You got the fat. And you'll see what's coming along. I'm losing weight very rapidly, my friend. I'm losing weight very rapidly. I can do a 6.5 minute plank now, or at least that's what I was able to do last time. So don't worry, we both can be blueberries. What are you talking about? Are you on peptides? I wish, mate. If I was on peptides, I wouldn't be sore anywhere. I'd be a lot bigger. I'd be able to gain more muscle. I'd be able to gain mass and at the same time lose fat. But unfortunately, I do it the old-fashioned way. Stupid me. It's a gaming term. What does it mean? Bro, put weights on your back while you plank. You know what I've been doing? It's not in here at the moment. Is it out in the... my wife wasn't happy I left it on the bed. I've got a weight vest now. So I've got this weight vest that can go up to 30 kilos. I'm building it up. And then I got these wrist and ankle weights. They're like 2.5 kilos each. So it's like 5, 10 between the ankles and the wrists. And then plus the 30, so it's like an extra 40 kilos. And then I even got these weighted gloves. They're supposed to be for boxing and shit like that. But it's just so when I walk around with all this weight on it, I'm like a fucking tank. People are like, why are you wearing that like at the gym? I'm like, because I'm getting fucked strong. That's why. Because I'm a unit. So yeah. It's all the peptides I need. Put weights on your back while you plank. I just wear the vest while I plank, yeah. Fucking hard. No regular weights that go on the bars and balance them on your back. What, the actual barbell? Yeah, people would look at me funny if I did that. I'm like, hey bro, I need a spot. Like, oh yeah, what do you need? I'm like, you gotta grab that barbell and throw it on my back while I'm doing a plank. You're like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm gonna go into the plank, right? And as soon as I'm there, you should be above me. Don't drop the fucking thing on my spine and snap me like fucking like Bane to Batman, alright? But I want you to put it on my back. The weight, just the weight. Oh, that's good, not the bar. It is a gaming slang term originating in shooters like Battlefield and Destiny for a random player who is not... Where is it? In your immediate squad or fire team. They are called blueberries because allied players show up as little blue dots on the minimap. Or just a neutral term for a teammate. Okay, let's just keep moving on me. It can sometimes be used pejoratively to describe uncoordinated or unskilled random players. That is me. I am a blueberry. Indeed. This Ignay is trying to get abs. He ain't shit. He's staying fat. Whoa. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. What are we, day 50? Only 40 more days. It's going to be nice. I'm going to be some shredded beast. I've already lost a lot of weight. I haven't been this lean in a while. It feels like it was only a little while ago. I was 94 kilos. Nice and chunky. Then I was actually fat. What's this? I've planked with a girl on me in my prime. I can do that too, but nah, better not. Better not. But if you saw my world, you would say, what the fuck? Eyes up. My eyes are up here. I am a blueberry too. That's alright. I think they're very common. No, but the difference is, you could just be skinny and have abs. That's not very impressive. It's when you've got actual real decent muscle mass to you. And you've got some serious fucking, Oh, there's a difference, bro. Like I said, you're at like 70, you were 71 kilos last time, correct? So you should be up to 71 and a half. Because it's been like a month. You should have gained a little bit of weight. And I don't know if I could get to 75 kilos, to be honest. I think I'll be too lean. I'll look like a skeleton. I don't think I could get that low. I'm already feeling pretty flat at 80. To lose another 5 kilos might be pretty hard. Don't falter, and I am sometimes potato. Potato aim. Is that another slang? Don't what? What is this? Potato aim is a gaming slang used to describe terrible. So you were prepared for it. You knew I was going to ask. Or wildly inaccurate shooting. If a player constantly misses their shots or struggles to hit a target despite having a clear line of sight. Oh. Fair enough. Don't insecure girls stay what? What do they say? Oh, this is interesting. What do they say? I can aim a little bit. I've gotten better at that. It's just because I started playing with this with the PC. I've always been a PlayStation guy, you know, controller guy. So getting used to the PC's taken me a while. About what? Trying to get some muscle mass. Oh, really? So you're new to it as well? Yeah, Toxic knows I played Counter-Strike with him. It didn't go so well. Non-playable character. Yeah, it's not the best. If you don't want to be called an NPC. I'm very confused, man. I'm very, very confused. What does this all mean? I am a non-playable character because I am me. You can't play me. I can't play you. We can only play ourselves. Everybody's really a non-playable character, except for themselves. The younger gen is calling NPC non-playable character. What do you call it? I'm very confused. In slang, calling someone an NPC means they lack originality, independent thought, or a distinct personality. It suggests they are just following a script or blindly going along with the crowd like a background character in a video game. Yeah, I don't think I'm one of them. Yeah. Nah, I'm not like that. I tend not to copy other people. I like to do my own thing. Like have you noticed there's people who just act like sheep in particular? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they won't stand up unless everyone else stands up. They won't sit down unless everyone sits down. They just listen to what they like. They just follow everyone else for like the social cues. Like, I never do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like like it's just weird. And then so like when I go to the church and stuff, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna stand and sing." I'm like, "Nah, I'm just gonna sit down." You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna do that because I'm not here to sing. All right. Kushtar would like that. Kushtar would like me to sing, but I'm not going to be singing. And it's like, and even when they like go into a shop, the doors will open and nobody's walking in yet sometimes, and everyone's just standing there in a weird line. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, so it's good. It makes it easy for me. I can just get in and be the first one to grab what I want. But everyone's weird. It's like they need permission or they need some confirmation of or to be led. I don't know. It's just very strange. I'm 20, so where's the cutoff? You're still nice and young. I don't know. I think it depends on your mind. It depends on who you are. That determines the cutoff. It's all different for everyone. I'm not looking forward to being 30. You know, that's coming up in a few or 6 months, 6.5 months. We'll say 7 months. That makes me seem younger. But really, you know, we must all age. We are already all dead, really. It's already written. It's already done. It's just a matter of time. Oi, do you have a long hair behind you, or is that a mullet? Yeah, I got long hair. I need to cut it. I was supposed to get my daughter to cut it today. It's probably a bit long, yeah. Probably a bit. I think I got longish hair. It's pretty long. I need to cut it though. Yeah, I don't know. like down to here now. Yeah. Fucking hell. It's getting too long. It's almost a mullet. And my daughter wants to be a hairdresser, so I let her use me as like a human dummy. I listen to music not from this generation. If I don't get abs, I gotta shave my head bald. And that'd be really bad to do that right in the middle of the winter, eh? Extra incentive. You know, I don't know. I want to get those abs because that way I can go down to my favorite place. What's this? I listen to music. Yeah, I don't listen to music from this generation either. Not unless it's like got a decent beat to it, you know. I had hair like that and you cut it. Yeah, true. If you get abs, I'll shave mine. You best get those shearers ready, my friend. But yeah, my favorite place is called the Spud. What is it called? The Spud Shed. It's like an hour and a half drive, but they have these potatoes that I can't really get anywhere else. Like I don't want to go to the city. I'd rather go like an hour and a bit out the other way to rural. And yeah, they make the best chips. That. Then I get all the noodles because I make the meal of champions. And the meal of champ. This is why I was fat. Is I would get the noodles, and you'd add dim sims to it. You'd add chicken nuggets to it. You get your chips, and you add the chips to it. You get chicken tenders. You can add anything to it, really. Anything that you shouldn't add. What else have I added to it before? I've added gyozas to it. That was good. The wingdings. That was a bit awkward to eat around the bone. I like cutting up steak and throwing that in there. I just do a mishmash of all sorts of shit. I think the newest gen is named wrong because these kids are not alphas. Yeah, they'd like to be called Sigmas when they all act like betas. That's what I think. Oh, fuck, I really gotta finish the writing. Nature being on the road there, just like it says in this danger, really. Oof. Oh. Lucky, eh? I only had like 5 minutes left before midnight. I'm glad I got that done. Holy shit. Nah, thanks everybody for coming around. Like, I appreciate that. I appreciate the chat. My stream's been like dead quiet for like the last 2-3 days. So, it's good to have some life in it, you know. I hope everyone's had a good time. I hope everyone has a good day, good night, wherever you're from. Mississippi, so it'll be probably towards the morning for you. So yeah, no. 5:55 here. True. 9. Yeah, it's like 11:55 p.m. here. So I got 5 minutes. If I didn't finish that writing, I would have had to reset the challenge again. I'm not really up for that. Well, no, not on day 69. You don't want to fail on day 69. You got to get there on day 69. It's imperative. Anyway, guys, thanks for saying hello. Tell James I said hello, and stay magnificent, everyone. And I'll see you on the next time, all right? Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.